Joe Rogan Podcast. Check it out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night, all day.
It's amazing how not traveling all the time affects your health. You feel so much better.
Yeah, and it's getting crazy on the internet, on planes now.
Oh, I know, man. Dude, like, what happened where, like, these altercations are fairly regular? Like, at airports, you see brawls at airports all the time.
Yeah, I have a theory.
What is it?
They don't want you flying.
No,
No, dude. You think I'm crazy? You think I'm crazy? I'm dead serious. There's like a Agenda 2050, and literally in there it lists no more commercial flying. And you see them at all these like WEFs and all this stuff in Davos.
Oh, that would be hilarious. Like if it was only the elites that got to fly in private
that's
jets.
literally the plan.
For real? Okay, but you think that can't be responsible for brawls at the Spirit Airlines?
Well, yeah. I mean, dude, they send in all these people all the time. I mean, it's crazy to me. Flights are always late.
Right. But a lot of that happened because of the
all
pandemic.
These military planes are almost hitting commercial. I'm telling you, dude. If they want you in a 15-minute city, why do they want you flying around?
Okay. I see what you're saying about the 15-minute city, and I think that's true. But I don't think this is grand plan to make planes slam into each other. I think it's a lot of it is incompetence. Whatever happened
I'm not
with
saying
that,
that's not.
The Black Hawk in D.C., that was a weird one.
That was a weird one.
That's a weird one because they apparently that lady was instructed to not go in the direction that she was going, right?
Right.
But what was the specifics of it?
Well, she didn't. They looked the wrong way. Like they go, hey, and they look this way and it was coming that way, or they looked that way and it was coming this way. They didn't. They looked the wrong way when they just tried to see what was coming.
Was she a part of the Biden administration at one point in time and then left and went back to flying helicopters?
Probably,
or something
dude.
Like that? It's so hard to know because you see stuff online.
But if you even study like the Vegas shooting, or the LA fires, they want you to blame DEI. Like, do you remember when that one fire chief or whatever was like, "Oh, if I come get you and you're too big, you're in the wrong place, at the wrong time."
Yeah.
Why would you say that? Why would
Hubris. It's hubris.
I don't know,
It's someone
bro.
who gets in a... Listen, you got an all-lesbian crew, right? You got a woman who's the first head of the fire department who's a woman, and this lady's a woman, and they're all talking about how great it is if someone who looks like you comes to save you and help you.
Yeah, totally.
So they're wrapped up in that kooky ideology, the absence of meritocracy and the absence of like... physical standards for difficult physical jobs to pretend that that's not necessary, that you shouldn't be able to take a guy out. The guys that I knew that were all firefighters, the guys that I've known, one of my buddies is a firefighter, is a Brazilian Jiu-jitsu black belt. Another one is a fucking big giant Irish guy. Like they were always big people, right? Because you had to be able to carry folks.
I agree, dude.
And you had to be able to do like crazy physical things. You have to axe down doors sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, it's
right.
Imagine you took a 100-pound woman and tell her to axe down a door.
Okay, so I agree with what you're saying, but what I'm saying is what causes more chaos, what causes more infighting is if you push everybody to this is DEI messing up and not that this whole thing is purposeful.
Okay. So you're thinking that they're instituting DEI on purpose and they're putting incompetent people in positions of power on purpose so that they'll fuck up, so that people will complain, or so that it creates more chaos.
Yes. So, I mean, I don't know if the narrative instantly became...
Who's these people?
Who are the Bolsheviks?
Those lizard people.
I don't know. I mean,
they're lizard people, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know if they're lizard. Well, they probably are lizard people, but I mean, when Karen Bass... Here's the crazy thing about LA. Very few people are calling out anything anymore. It's a city of conformity. Then nobody wants to rock the boat because to get a job in LA, you need a 20 green lights.
Yeah.
All you got to catch is one red light and you're not working.
Right.
So if you're out there going, hey, dude, this is like, hey, man, what's going up with this? This seems pretty purposeful. You're not going to work. You're just not going to work. You could get mugged at a gas station pumping $7 gallon gas and still never complain about what's going on and still vote the same way because you don't want to rock the boat. That's, if you ask me, it's a big part of moving everybody into these big cities is the forced conformity.
I don't think it's like that everywhere, though. LA is particularly like that because of it's a city of conformity already because of Hollywood.
Yes.
Because you're auditioning for things.
100%.
The auditioning for things thing is crazy because it's really the only way to find out if someone's really good at acting. You give them a chance, right? But the way it's set up is like people choose people, and if they choose you, you go on to have this incredible life. You become Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Right? But if they don't choose you, you become that guy that everybody sees at the party that's 45
Yep.
and, dyeing his hair dark and,
Yep.
and it's not happening and
rigged
everyone
game,
knows
dude.
it's not happening and maybe he's got talent because it's weird. So you have to conform.
Yes.
You have to say what they want you to say, whether it's about whatever political issue
Kids
or
getting
sociological
transitioned.
climate change,
Yep.
whatever it is. You can't have any opinions that break from the narrative.
I totally 100% agree, and that's kind of why LA nobody's saying anything right now.
It's a culture. It's a part of the culture. But I really think it has something to do with the original way that LA was founded. Before the whole reality star thing and everything else, but there's definitely a lot of that going on. But it was all acting. Everybody wanted to go to act. So it was like the primary way that someone would get a gig was an audition.
Yep. There's a term. It's a communist term. It's like Koronifia. I'm probably
Jamie will Google that.
I'm butchering how
By
to
the
pronounce
way,
it,
that
which will
is
be a theme.
A dope sweatshirt.
Oh,
I
10th
need
Planet
that.
Van Nuys?
I need one
Well,
of those.
dude.
You got me one?
I got you,
Oh,
Alder.
who's running 10th Planet Van
Alder.
Nuys? Oh, no shit.
He gave
Shout
me
out
this.
to Alder. He's
Here's
cool as
yours.
fuck. Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
dude.
Bro, I need one of those though. I need the Wu-Tang one.
Okay. Dude, I'll get you one,
Does
dude.
that stink?
No.
How bad does that smell?
Why,
The one
you
I
want this
Yeah,
one?
Give me that one.
Okay.
Later.
No, I'll give it to you now because it's hot in here, dude.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, you gotta see my tits, dude. Here you go.
I'm
This
never
is yours.
washing this. I'm
All
never
right,
washing
it's
this.
yours,
again.
dude. That worked out perfectly. I'm gonna
Fucking
sweat like a
dope.
pig the whole time.
Anything Wu-Tang, I'm down with.
10th Planet Van
that's
Nuys.
so
I'm just
sick.
getting murked by Mexicans the whole time.
So they took the V and the N
Yeah.
and they made it just like the
Yeah,
Wu-Tang.
it's a great school,
yeah.
dude.
Alder's the
I'm
shit.
trying
I
to
love
get a
that
blue
dude.
belt. I'm just old and fat.
Nice.
It's hard.
Bro, I've known Alder for fucking more than 20 years.
Yeah, he's great. I love him.
I think 20? Yeah, probably like 20 years.
Yeah, dude, he's great. I love jujitsu. I just gotta do old man jujitsu where I gotta do wrist locks and shit like that because I can't move these fat legs. I got fat old legs. I can't throw them, and I'm taking on these.
Are you on any hormone replacement therapy?
No, I
anything
want
like
to
that?
so bad.
We'll get you set up.
I got
at
bad
Waste
hip too, dude. That's what I got to
Oh
work on.
no!
Yeah,
What's wrong with the hip?
it's just the wheels are a little off.
Did you get it looked at?
No, I gotta do that.
Okay.
I've been running nuts.
All right. Well, before you do all this other stuff like jujitsu and you have an injury, you should make sure that you're not making that injury way
Probably
worse.
making it worse,
Yeah, it's kind of important.
but I love it.
I know.
I like pain.
I'm glad you like it, but just listen to Daddy, because I've been down this fucking surgery road many times with jujitsu, and I've had 2 knee surgeries because of jujitsu. You have to make sure, and I had a bunch of back issues. You have to make sure that it's not like a labrum tear or something like that, where you're continuing to tear it and make it worse.
Yeah.
Because you can get that fixed.
Yeah.
And if you get it fixed, you'll be way better off.
Yeah, I gotta get it fixed.
MMA fighters do it all the time. Like Sugar Sean, before his fight with Marab, he tore his labrum, the first fight. And he was going to get it surgery, but he realized he couldn't. There was no way he was going to. But he wanted to make that Sphere show because they're doing it at the Sphere. He's like, fuck it, I could still beat that guy. He's an animal. You know?
Yeah, he's
Took
savage.
Took a chance. But he needed to get it fixed. And then he finally got it fixed. He's like, dude, I feel fucking
want to
infinitely
so
better.
badly.
Infinitely better. You have to fix it. If it's a labrum tear or something like that, you just don't want to ruin it. You don't want to get it so you need a hip replacement, which I know a gang of guys who have hip replacements. Okay?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't believe how many people I know that have hip replacements.
I went home I brought the kids back to the homeland, and all my family was like, yeah, I got this fixed, I got this fixed, I got that fixed.
The hip one's nuts, man, because I know guys that are 40 that have hip replacements. Like, not just one, you know? Remember Connor? Did you ever meet Connor?
Yeah,
Connor
of course.
Hune?
Yeah.
He got his hips done.
Yeah.
You know, I know like a bunch of MMA fighters that had to get their hips done. John Wayne Parr, Muay Thai guy, he had to get his hips done. At least one hip. It's rough, man. They saw the top of your bone off and put a fucking cap on it and a different socket and screw it all in there, and then that's good for about 20 years.
I think I messed up some joints during my running and gunning days.
I'm sure
Not
you
drinking
did.
enough water. I think I
Yeah, you probably got injured a bunch of times, didn't notice it.
Just kept going.
Yeah.
Like a champ.
The thing about those hips, though, is what they can do now. Like before in the past, if you had a chronically inflamed hip and arthritis and you were missing calcium or missing meniscus or whatever it be, cartilage, labrum tears in your hips, you're crippled for life. Now they just give you an artificial one, and they say, well, it probably lasts about 20 years. Well, at least for 20 years, you can, like everyone I know that has one, walks normal.
Yeah, I want that so
hurt.
badly.
Yeah, but you don't. You want to fix your hip.
Yeah, I know.
Possible.
That's what I want. I want to fix my hip. I'm going to do it when I go back.
No, we'll get it looked at while you're here.
Really?
How many days are you here for?
I'm here. I'm leaving tomorrow.
What time tomorrow?
Like 7. They put me on
7 a.m.?
Yeah.
Whew. Maybe
I'll
we can
fly
get you in
right
this
back.
afternoon. We might be able to get you in this afternoon.
Get my hip looked. I'll fly right back.
Someone should look at it. But what you really need is an MRI.
Yeah.
Because they need to find out exactly what's going on inside there.
I'm paying $1 gazillion in health insurance. I better get looked at.
Bro, that doesn't get you nothing these days. Don't you
Nothing.
know? Don't
It's
you know?
unbelievable.
Do you know what happened to Ben Askren?
Oh, yeah, dude. That's so tragic and sad and just disgusting. It should be like if they don't cover it, they should send all your money back.
How crazy is that? He had health insurance. He got a terrible infection in his lungs that led to, I think it's called necrotic pneumonia. He had to get a double lung transplant, and health insurance says we're not covering it.
How's that possible?
That is an obvious catastrophic illness that just hit a guy, right? Like this is not. He's not like a chronic smoker. There's no terrible thing that he did. He just got sick.
Yep.
And isn't that what health insurance is for? And
100%.
I want to know, like, on what grounds can you deny something like that? That seems to be like a break in the narrative. Like something like that is you can't say, oh, this person's responsible for that. They did something they weren't supposed to do because of their insurance. Like,
Right.
no, this guy just got sick.
Yeah, 100%. And that's what that whole Luigi thing was about. That company was using AI to determine whether you should be covered or not.
Right.
And AI doesn't have any emotion or can't look at it going, well, maybe we should cover this. It's very analytical about it. And that's why I guess he was having problems with his back and just got pissed off, and that's what happens, man. And that whole thing was weird too.
Yeah, I heard he had a screw loose too. Though his friends were saying that there's like he had a break, like something went wrong in his life. But that might be connected to the surgery, by the way. You know, if all of a sudden you need to get discs fused in your back and you're in constant pain, that could completely change the way you interface with the world. You know,
Yeah.
Michael Bisping had his neck fixed. It didn't go well, and he had to get it done again. And he was in so much pain
Brutal.
that he couldn't do anything. He could only basically lie in bed and then go do his UFC duties and then go back and lie in bed. Just motherfucker was just in agony and keeping it together. Keeping it together. But some people don't keep it together when they're in pain all the time, man.
Well, you know, a lot of people think once you get to the hospital, you're safe, right? That's where the safe place is. And, you know, medical malpractice is one of the leading causes of death out there. And it's nothing's an exact science, but yeah, they can mess it up. My grandmother on my father's side just went in to get a bag changed and she never left the hospital. She passed away.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. I know this lady who went to get a kidney removed and they took out the wrong kidney.
Oh!
So she had one bad kidney and one good kidney, and they took out her bad kidney, or took out her good kidney and left her bad kidney. Yeah, and the doctor would not admit he fucked up. The doctor would not admit it. I mean, the whole thing is fucking crazy.
Brutal.
But that's medical malpractice.
Yes.
But the denial of insurance claims on stuff like that is like the medical miracle is they did give him a double lung transplant. Ben Askren is alive right now, and he's trying to build himself back up.
And
to
they had to
health.
GoFundMe it, which is absolutely ridiculous that we live in America and you have to have your friends and fans support you to have this like life-saving surgery.
I think a big chunk of it was Jake Paul.
Yep.
I think Jake Paul gave him like $500,000. But it's really kind of crazy that the insurance is allowed to not cover something like that. Did they have a response? Is there a response for why they didn't cover that?
It's tragic. He looks
Because
like
it seems insane. I mean, unless there's some legal loophole, how could you not cover someone who just gets some crazy illness like that?
You know, when Obama was, I knew Obama was like not the guy I thought it was. Obama's first term is the last time I voted for either Republican or Democrat. That was the last time. So, everybody wanted change. I can get into how they basically rigged that thing for him, because America, after George Bush and Dick Cheney, hates old white neocons. And then who do they have? Who do they have run against the slick, good-looking young black guy who nobody knew was a Bush at the time? Who they have? John McCain, who is the poster child or the mascot for the old white neocons, right? So they basically run everybody to Obama, and we're like, yeah, we're going to have change. And he was running on like everyone getting health care and all that stuff. And then so they have this giant debate in Washington about universal health coverage. And this dude gets on a plane and runs to Germany to give speeches and stuff like that during the debate on his major campaign issue. And I'm like, oh, dude, this is just a giant setup. It's all BS, and I've never voted for another guy.
We didn't explain that. So he went to Germany to do what?
Give speeches. He was going to go give speeches to German diplomats and politicians and all that stuff while we are debating his campaign promise. And I'm like, why aren't you here fighting for what you said you wanted to get us? Now you're out of the country. You're not even part of the debate.
Is it possible that they set those debates up at the same time where they knew that he was going to be out of the country?
Yeah, but if you run on a campaign and they're like this, it's in the heat of the debate.
Right.
When you I can't go right now.
Do you think it's possible that that was a plan? That they didn't want him there to defend it and it would be easier to shoot it down?
Yeah, of course.
On purpose.
Yes.
On purpose.
And when he passes,
do you think they scheduled those meetings at a time where they knew that they were going to be doing the debate so they could get out of him having to defend not having lived up to his campaign promises?
Yep. That's my whole opinion.
Well, there's got to be some 3D chess going on, right? And I know all of it isn't, but there's some really smart people that are involved in the government, obviously. So they've got to be thinking, like, this is a way we can handle this. Like, there's probably a bunch of nerds in a room, and they're brainstorming, and someone says, listen, here's how we get out of it.
Yeah, we send him to Germany, and he's not even here.
We say there actually are no files.
Yeah.
We say there's no video. Even though we said there's 10,000 hours of video, actually, it's not true. Those people should not have spoken. We can't find it. We don't know where it is. There's no list. There's nothing.
And I love how, when they shoot her just eating a salad, she's perfectly shot. You can hear everything she's saying. She's not... dude, my whole thing goes, everything is...
Who's eating a salad?
Pam Bondi.
Oh, she was eating a salad while she was talking
when
about this?
Veritas or James O'Keefe puts out that video.
What is the video?
The video is her talking about how there's tens of thousands of videos of him hurting children.
Oh, so that video comes
out
but that video is like one of those Veritas type deals.
Yes,
is O'Keefe? O'Keefe did
O'Keefe.
It? Okay,
he's also the one who put out Karen Bass's phone call about her talking. Have you ever heard it? The super creepy.
Bro, that guy gets everything. He gets everything.
Gets everything, dude.
And usually chatty gay guys.
Yeah. Oh, dude. And all they do is send in some ass, and they'll give away all the secrets.
So I didn't know that that was how that. I'd only read that she said that there was tens of thousands.
No, she talks about it in the video.
Interesting. Covertly recorded April 28th, revealing previously undisclosed information about Epstein regarding tens of thousands of videos of little kids to a complete stranger in a D.C. restaurant. Okay, well, let's hear what it says. I want to hear how she says it.
Oh, it's going to be a long video. I got to find it.
Yeah, it's easy to find because it cuts to her in a cafe. You'll find it right there. Just kind of jump. Oh, there it is. That's her talking right there.
Do you know when the Epstein files are going to get released?
We hope soon. The FBI's been...
Okay.
So...
Any dates?
No, you know what it is? There are tons of thousands of videos.
Yeah.
And it's all with little kids. So they have to go through every one.
In the past, officials have spoken.
Okay. She didn't even say underage girls. She said little kids.
Yeah. And that's a big part. I said this a long time ago, is that they're just trying to set it up so it's like, dude, they're high school chicks. They're hot. And reality, it's like really, really. And there were statements, I believe, and you can't find it on the internet anymore because, they clean everything up, of people talking about what Bill Clinton was fooling around with, and it wasn't little girls, And I've always said this, it's like Bill Clinton is the Andy Dick of the White House. he just sees holes. He wants to hit them, right?
Oh my God.
You know,
You can't say that if you don't know it's true, though.
I just did.
You know he likes to fuck. He was a good-looking guy when he was young, super charismatic. Love them ladies. Which is, that's Kennedy. It's classic presidents. It's just we found out about
bisexual Kennedy, bisexual George.
Kennedy?
Yeah,
They were
100%.
bisexual?
Yeah, but Kennedy was bisexual. George Bush Sr. was
Where are you getting
gay.
this from? Hold the fuck up.
Dog,
where are you getting this from?
I do deep dives into all this shit.
understand,
Joe,
but
I'm telling you.
Where are you diving?
Dude, I'm telling you, the Finders, you remember the Finders?
Was JFK bisexual? A viral tweet is reigniting speculation. Here's
And he's
the
like,
tea.
yeah, I mean,
Wow.
they're just, he was on speed. He was
He's
a
forgotten
tweaker.
queer history.
They're just horny ass people. Woodrow Wilson, they believe they blackmailed him through being gay. I mean, Obama stuff coming out right now. Bill Clinton.
So let's think about that, right? We know that like the Spartans were gay, right? We know that they had sex with each other.
Yeah.
You know, it was a big thing. It was
Yeah.
part of like why they would go to battle so
Right.
well. They're
Yeah.
fighting for their
Your joke
lovers.
about the samurais.
Yeah.
You know, back
Yeah.
in the day about how
Yeah.
they were all gay? Because you're
Yeah.
going to fight harder if you know that dude got some DSLs, right? You're going to fight way harder. Don't kill Bill. He's the best in the bunker.
Yeah. You're fighting for your lovers.
Yeah, right?
But it's also like there's a lot of ancient cultures that think of having sex with women just for procreation, but with boys for fun.
That's Afghanistan.
Exactly. And my friends that have been over there, that have served over there, one of my buddies, I don't know if he said this publicly, so maybe I shouldn't say his name, but just the stories that he told me, I was like, what? Like, how? Like, he was talking about how he saw this truck driver with his son. He thought, like, oh, that's cool. He takes his son to work with him. And the guy goes, that's not his son. Like, that's his toy.
It's called Man Love Thursdays, dude.
Yeah, but
That's
it's
what
not
they call
just
it.
Thursday. It's like
They go into the mountains.
my
They
friend
think-
was telling me that there was this one guy that he worked on this base and he was kind of slow, like he was mentally slow, and he had a colostomy bag, and he heard a bunch of noise and saw a bunch of dudes in the room, like in one of the storage rooms. These guys were fucking his colostomy hole. This old mentally challenged guy.
Yep.
And these dudes were fucking his colostomy hole. He's like, bro.
I just had a guy on right now. This is going to get weird, but Dom the hypnotist came on, and he was talking about how he has a mentor who he also works with, who was Hillary Clinton's security detail. And they were in Afghanistan. They saw a bunch of kids go in the room and never come out.
What does that mean?
That they, like 3 a.m.
This is Bachabazi, right?
Yeah.
This is the kids dancing and shit.
Yep.
That is so sick.
And they were
man.
told, like, don't interfere with the local customs.
Yeah, but are you implying that they are dead?
I'm implying that he never saw them come out.
Maybe they took a nap. After
Maybe there's another
Hillary
exit
read them
to
a
it.
story and gave them some cookies and milk.
Go to bed. Let them sleep. We got to check out. Let them sleep. They'll figure it out.
The creepiest idea about pedophilia is that there's people that know about it and cover it up because they don't want to get in trouble for having known about it. Like this is a Sandusky thing, right?
Yeah.
You know, I mean that's essentially what tanked Joe Paterno, right? Like
yeah.
everybody really knew.
Yeah. And they all let it go because they were winning football games. And then Penn State's right back into title contention. But here's the thing, dude. Over time, what they can blackmail you with changes. Like way back in the day, if they thought you were cheating on your wife, they could blackmail you with that. But as culture grows and we start accepting more and more stuff, it's got to get weirder and weirder. You know, back in the, you remember? I mean, we're around the same age. I mean, you remember when we were debating whether Boy George was gay or not, and they were like, right? There was like a real discussion on that. And he's like, no, dude, I pound puss, dude.
How about George Michael?
Yeah,
Same thing.
100%.
He was so beautiful. There's no way he could be straight. His hair was so perfect. His voice was so amazing. Like, that guy's got to be super gay.
Have you seen the Minnesota Vikings male cheerleader? That is the shiniest dude I've ever seen.
Show me this.
Yeah, look, he's a male cheerleader.
Shane was actually just talking about this. Shane was talking about this in the green room the other day.
Yeah, he's shiny, dude.
Shiny? Oh my
He's
goodness.
so shiny, dude.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh
And
my
you-
goodness.
Yeah, he's so, and you could see him like on Twitter. He's just like dancing around, and he's the shiniest dude you've ever seen in your life.
He's got the skirt. They wear the skirt.
I guess.
Yeah, there he is in the front row.
He's got shorts there.
Okay.
Cheerleaders are useless anyways. There's really no purpose of them. They don't do anything for the game. It was back in the day, how can we have hot chicks in football?
It's a weird role, and I don't have a problem with a gay guy doing that.
Well, here's my opinion,
Like,
dude.
why would I care, right? Like, here's the thing. If you're in a stadium of 16,000 people, how many?
Football's like
bigger?
70,000.
60,000 people.
Right.
Right. I'm thinking of a basketball game. If you're in a football stadium, 80,000 people, how many gays? How many gay guys are in the crowd?
10%. We'll go 10%.
It's probably 10%.
7,000?
Maybe a bunch of them are hiding.
Yeah.
Maybe a bunch
Closeted,
of them are
dangerous
closeted.
people.
But it's always kind of like 1 in 10, right?
Closeted gays can get dangerous, dude.
What's the problem with having one gay cheerleader for them?
You know, here's my
Like,
whole.
what's a cheerleader for?
You know, there's always going to be the fight. What is the point of a cheerleader?
It's to have an additional visual aspect to it. I like all the flips they do and all the jazz, and it's fun. It's choreographed, and when it's done well, it's entertaining.
Yeah, I mean,
It's fun
Gary
to
Goldman
watch.
has a great bit about it, about what their purpose is to like remind the players how important the play is, right? He's like, you know, defense. Oh, dude, we got to play defense, dude, you know?
It's an extra pageantry that adds to the experience. But why shouldn't a gay guy be doing it? Like, how homophobic are guys that are watching that? There's all these hot chicks, and instead they're caught, what's this fucking guy doing
Yeah.
in the shorts? There's 16 other girls with perfect bodies you could be paying attention to,
Right.
but you're focused on the gay guy.
Yeah, and they always complain about how much money they're making. I'm like, dude, you get to go to the game for free. You're on the field. It's
I
like,
think he would have a great reality show. See how they accept him.
and how
see
many
if people
download
cool with
players
him.
are staring at him, dude?
Sure.
That's my favorite player.
10% is 10%,
Yeah,
right?
10%. So here's my whole thing, dude. You know, there's always going to be culture wars between the right and the left. I'm on nobody's side. Like, I'm on nobody. I'm like in the middle. I'm old school liberal.
Yeah.
Live and let live. As long as you're not hurting people, and particularly children, you'll never hear anything from me. I don't care what you
Right,
do by
right.
yourself with consenting adults. Get as weird as you want.
Yeah.
God gave us free will. Do whatever you want. Pick your path. You know, but when you start to demonize certain people, you're setting up a market for blackmail. So when people can't be themselves and they're so afraid of people finding out who they really are, you're setting it up so people can manipulate them. And that's the story of Washington, D.C. Now, obviously, hurting children, there should never be a time where that's culturally acceptable. But that's why it's had to get so dark, is because we don't care if somebody's gay now. It's like, I mean, at least I don't. There's
So
going
do
to
you
be.
think it's like they just always want to do the forbidden thing? So, like, what would lead someone? Let's get as dark as we can get. What's the darkest? Probably child sacrifice.
Hurting.
Right?
Oh, yeah,
Child
100%.
sacrifice. And I think that that's happened before. I don't think that that has not happened in human histories. In fact, I know it's happened because my friend Shane Smith covered it when he was over in Africa when he interviewed that General Butt Naked guy. That guy used to sacrifice children from the enemy tribes before everyone in Liberia. He would sacrifice them and cut open their chest and eat their heart. He would eat a piece of their heart before going into battle.
Dark energy, dude.
Right, but that's a real human being that did that. So we know that he didn't invent that.
Right.
He didn't invent that.
No, I mean, it's in the Bible,
Right.
too. Like when they want to take out the Canaanites and, you know, atheists use that as like, oh, well, he wants to kill all the women and children. What do you think about that? Well, the Canaanites were practicing child sacrifice. There's a reason why. Now, the language, we can get into like the Bible language, especially in the First Testament. Like, is it the language of the time? And they were a lot more blunt with it. But the Canaanites were sacrificing children. I mean, that's a big part of it. Goes all the way back to Kronos, to the first god, which is the god of time. And the whole story about it was told that his kids would slay him. So every time his female would have children, he would eat the kids.
Jesus.
Time. Black cube of Saturn. It get weird.
I wonder how they're going to look at some of the things that pharmaceutical drug companies have pushed through in the future and the impact that it had on kids, and whether or not they're going to think of that in a similar way to child sacrifice. Because it really is kind of, if you know that it's causing damage, but you're doing it for money, you kind of sacrificing kids
100%.
for money.
What is this?
How to Stop India's Superstitious Killings Ended in Exile. What's this about, Jamie?
Read the caption there. Oh, just covered up.
Human sacrifice, particularly that of minors, has been prevalent in many parts of India for a long time. Jeez. More than 85 kids, all under 13, were ritualistically murdered in the country in the last 6 years per government data. Last year, there were 14 cases of parents or relatives sacrificing or attempting to sacrifice children on the advice of a sadhu, a holy man.
Oof. Bro, that gets in the program.
How crazy is it that was a part of history? And
It's still happening.
You know, that's what I'm saying. Like that, it's still in 2025. People think that sacrificing a child is the right move. That's what we need to do. We need to sacrifice a child.
Well, that's the whole thing. Kids are the closest to God.
Yeah. When you think about like things like that, like drugs that are pushed on kids, that's just for profit, medications that kids are forced to take that's just for profit, things that are fucking them up where they're, you know, it's just because people want to make money. And how are they going to look at that in the future? You know, when we look at child sacrifice when they were doing voodoo, or they, you know, the Mayans thought they were sacrificing people to the gods, we think of it as barbaric, right? How are they going to look at like what we've done, where we just lied about stuff and skirted around the truth and gave distorted versions of what we're actually selling to kids, and then those kids wind up dying. They wind up having heart attacks. They wind up having cancer, and it's probably directly related to this medication. And no one wants to take credit for it. No one wants to admit it, and everyone's making money.
Everything's programming, dude. Even those people in India, their programming of their religion tells them like to sacrifice their own children. I mean, like,
crazy
goes
is it
against
that
everything you're wiring.
Yeah, it's like that's the ultimate control you have over a person. You get them to sacrifice their child.
Right? I mean, if you're at a kids park and a kid's in trouble, it doesn't need to be your kid. You run over to make sure the kid's okay. I've done it 1,000 times.
Right.
But now you have people like, especially like if you look at like what's going on in Gaza, you have people labeling newborns as terrorists. Like that is your programming overriding your basic instinct, which is to protect children at all costs because they are the future.
Yeah.
And that's powerful, powerful, powerful. So my whole theory is that anxiety and depression and anger and all that stuff comes from when your programming and your reality clash and they don't meet up. You're programming from generational trauma, you're programming from school, all that stuff meets reality, and you start to just go a little crazy. And I think a lot of that is purposeful to get us on pharmaceuticals for life.
Ooh. You think it's purposeful? So how would they engineer that to happen that way?
Well, first of all, your grandparents, your parents telling you the trauma of your past, beating that into you forever. Like I had my buddy's girlfriend on my show, and she's Jewish, and she was telling me, I go, what's it like to grow up Jewish? And she was telling me that her parents would tell her that she has to have 3 kids, one for each parent, and then 1 kid lost for the Holocaust, for someone lost in the Holocaust. And like, think about that programming, dude. Think about what that over and over and over again, and to the point now where you're like, well, you know, these kids in Gaza are terrorists. I mean, newborn babies are terrorists. I mean, that is heavy stuff. I mean, I've heard about the Armenian genocide my whole life to the point I got a tattoo right here about it. You know, like that is, you know, that is your programming. Then you go to school and it's been infiltrated by all these cultural Marxists, and they're just pushing this thing to get you to hate your own country, hate the establishment, hate all this stuff. So you have this entire country where everybody's fighting with each other. And that's all done to cause, maximum chaos, because people are easy to manipulate and control when they're in anxiety. They're going to demand, like this whole thing with like taking over Washington, D.C. right now. Everyone acts like this has just started. This started way back with BLM, the defund the cops. This has always been the goal. It's called pressure from above, pressure from below. You're afraid to go on the streets, and you have no faith that your politicians are going to save you. So you have no hope. So you're completely and utterly lost, and you're just demanding that you be kept safe, which is the ultimate goal, which is martial law. That's what they want, and that's what they've been doing. And it isn't starting in Washington, D.C. This has started a while ago. If you study all these different kind of cultural clashes, that starts with BLM, that's black people. Then you go January 6th, that's white people. Then you go to Asian hate, that's Asian people. Then you go to No Kings, that's Latinos. And now you have the Supreme Court that is going to debate the legality of gay marriage. And if you go, Sam, what do you think's going to happen? I wouldn't doubt if they overturn it, because that's going to cause even more chaos. The streets are going to be burning in rainbows, dude. And then that is what they want, martial law. There's all these these judges who are completely politicized are like releasing people who are hurting kids or murdering people. That means you have no faith in the system, and that grows your anxiety. Now all of a sudden you're angry, you're depressed, and you don't trust anything. And now you want to basically give up your God-given rights to be safe. And that is the goal. Pressure from above, pressure from below for Marxists. If you ever want to watch a doc on it, it's really old. It's in '69. I watched it last night on Twitter. It's G. Edgar Griffin, and it's called The Capitalist Conspiracy. I've sent it to a bunch of people. I can't get anybody to watch this thing. And it breaks it down, dude. There was famous cases in the 50s and 60s where kids were like radical communists on the campuses, and they said that something's going wrong here, and they broke off, and they testified in front of either Congress or Senate, and they basically said the goal is to basically bring in martial law. And these kids who all think they're raging against the machine, they don't realize the machine is funding all of this stuff. It's like the No Kings.
Right.
The Latinos are really smart. Like when Eddie and I do shows all the time, there's tons of Mexicans, tons of Latinos in the crowd. They get conspiracies. So when No Kings was happening in LA, there were like gang leaders who told their entire block, nobody can go to these things, because they all found out it was funded by the Walmart heir. Like that's what always happens. The billionaires fund these kind of radical groups to sow chaos.
Well, also because they don't want that kind of crackdown on illegal immigration. Like there's a lot of people who don't want that kind of crackdown.
Yeah, because they don't want to pay anything.
Well, there's that, and they're already hiring people that are illegals, and they have them working in their factories and working in their businesses. And then there's also the dispute about SNAP, about cutting back on Medicaid and SNAP, and like who do you have to pay benefits to, who do you not have to pay benefits to. That was one of the things that this guy was telling me about. Someone told him that he had a conversation with someone who said he's really upset they're stopping illegal immigration because it's a big part of what he uses for his business. And he was like open about it. He was saying that he does it because he doesn't have to pay them benefits. You can pay them less, and you don't have to pay them benefits. Like he was just saying it out loud, So that was part of the thing too of letting people into the country. There was like you need more of a supply of people that are willing to do the construction jobs and the slaughterhouse jobs, like jobs that nobody wants to work in the slaughterhouse,
right?
Dude. That's.
But I also hear them always say Americans don't want to do this job, and then my fat ass is going to fucking Wendy's at 11 p.m. and I'm ordering a chicken sandwich, and the guy handing me the bag is 55 years old. I mean, Americans want to work. That's a whole psyop that they don't want to do some of these jobs.
Sure, but those jobs are brutal, back-breaking labor. All right, if you're picking vegetables, if you're you're working in a fucking slaughterhouse, dude, that's a brutal job. You're around rotten meat all day.
Yeah, I get that.
It's freezing cold. You're cutting things up. You're covered in blood. You're just around death all day long. Death is supposed to be something you occasionally see. You fucking kiss it to the sky, thank God for the deer, and then you go. You're not supposed to see slaughter 24 hours a day. That's
right?
Crazy. That's like not normal for a human being.
And what's really weird is how like I've seen so much death in movies that when I see a dead person, which I think the first time I saw a dead person, I would be incredibly shocked. I remember I was driving home from Vegas with my then girlfriend, and there was a giant car crash, like a giant car. I mean, it was nasty. She's like, don't get out of the car. And I'm like, I'm a hero. And I get out of the car. to see what's everything's okay. And this one card flipped, pop, 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 pop. And there was somebody laying there, and the car was on top. And somebody ran over with a car jack to like get it up. I go, you're gonna look at something you're not ready to see right now. It's like it's done.
Yeah.
But what I was blown away by was how not affected by seeing that. It's the first time I'd seen, like, outside of a funeral, I'd seen a dead body, like, that just had a violent ending.
Why do you think you weren't affected by it?
Because I think I've seen so many movies where I've
Really?
just seen dead people that it just was like a movie to me. And I didn't have any reaction to it. When the first days I moved to L.A., you know, I've lived in L.A. since 98, 99. And, like, I was back there in the crazy days on Hollywood Boulevard where it was still thriving. And there was this weird store, and inside you could smell death. And I looked in, and there was something laying down there. And, again, not affected by it. I go, I think that's a dead body. The guy's like, get out of there. There's no dead body. Go away. But it smelled like death. But I still was really amazed. That was probably the first time I saw a dead body. Then this was the second one. But I was just amazed by not how affected I was by seeing this. Like, I've been programmed and conditioned to see these things, which normally back in the day would be a giant moment.
I think a lot of people would be horrified by it. Maybe you're hardened by life, my man.
Man, I've had a...
I think a lot of people would be pretty horrified. I don't know if it's necessarily deconditioning from movies.
Well, I can tell you something. So I used to do USO tours.
Right.
And the first time I go, I think it was with Brian Callen this time. No, that wasn't my first one, but I do. Yeah, that was the first one. I do it with Steve Byrne, Dev Davidoff, and Brian Callen. And we had this very nice man who was showing us around. He was our kind of our leader of our tour. And he was telling me that in World War I, they found that the guys couldn't shoot the enemy because they didn't want to kill them. They didn't have it in them to kill another human being. So he says that's when you start to see in movies guns coming out and shooting people. It's programming. And that's when it got way easier to start shooting people. Now you got these video games where you're just going in somewhere and you're murking everybody.
And movies.
Yeah, in movies
Tons
and
of
video
movies.
games.
Tons of movies, tons of video games. We were just talking about that the other day when you see people getting in fights, like in parking lots and shit, that it's almost like people think life is a movie. Like you don't really understand what a fight is, like how dangerous it is and scary it is. And you're doing it like it's like you're in a movie. And I wonder how much of that is because people have seen people fight in movies and they just don't understand how crazy it is when there's no rules and you're just hoping this guy fights worse than you do. You have no idea. You don't know what you're doing. You're probably drunk and high.
What
and
about
you think,
having all
you
the
think
women?
you're in a movie. You think you're in a fucking movie, man.
What about all the women that now are kicking everybody's ass? I'm flying here, and every movie is a waif model beating the shit out of a fucking 300-pound Russian.
Oh, yeah. Those
Every
are always-
movie is.
those
And
are
then you
always
see
ridiculous.
videos where girls just go up and start swinging on guys. And I'm like, it was Brian Holtzman's bit they used to do way back in the
About
day.
Charlie's Angels.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That was a great bit. That was a great bit. Holtzman's the best. It's so nice having him out here.
I love him.
He's so crazy.
I want to get out here.
He's the best. But yeah, that's a crazy thing to show in movies. I mean, it's one thing if the woman has like superpowers, but if it's just a regular gal
Who's
beating the shit out of
100
some
pounds, too.
250-pound Russian dude with a neck as big as my waist. Like, what are we talking about? This is crazy. You're not going to hurt him at all if you hit him.
I was watching on the fly over. I was watching the latest Mission Impossible, and it's insane, dude. Have you ever seen it?
I haven't seen the new
It's
one.
amazing,
I
bro.
bet.
Oh, dude, it just gets cranked up. But there's like two chicks in there, couldn't weigh more than 100 pounds, beating the shit out of everybody. And I'm like, this isn't. You need a cyborg type chick,
Right,
If you're
right.
gonna have somebody
Amanda
like Bill,
Nunes.
yeah,
Just
that is-
flatlining dudes.
yeah. No neck cyborg, like that woman.
Yeah.
Cyborg is like the Wilt Chamberlain of female MMA, where like you could drop her 20 years in the future and she'd still be murking people
Probably.
because she's like that well built and she's
Yeah.
that skilled. But that's who would be doing it.
Yeah.
Not like 100-pound women.
No. Kayla Harrison.
Yeah, I
She
mean,
could fuck up some dudes.
how was she? 135, 145?
Well, she has to weigh 135 for a very small amount of time, but she was the 155-pound champ in the PFL. She's a big lady.
Yeah,
she's jacked.
She's a juggernaut.
She's super powerful. And
I
when
like
she gets
that.
a hold of these ladies, it's like the difference is so obvious. She's so fucking strong, man. So if that lady was in a movie fucking people up, I'd be like, I believe it.
Yeah, totally makes
I
sense.
believe it.
If I was a henchman, I'd be like, I'm running. This bitch is
With
big.
some supermodel waif in 8-inch heels is fucking throwing sidekicks that are perfect. Like, come the fuck on. Stop.
I used to have a joke about Keira Knightley in Pirates of the Caribbean. She's like fighting everybody. I'm like, the only thing that chick's fighting is anorexia. You know what I'm saying? There we go. Working bits in. Yeah. So, it's just everything's programming, dude.
Well, it is, but I wonder if it's because we like that stuff because it fits in our head. Like Joseph Campbell's hero's journey. Like it fits in our head. We want someone to kick their ass, and then you win in the end. Yeah, you go through your trials, and he hit her. Oh my God, she's bleeding, but she kicks his ass.
Yeah.
There's this thing that we want to see. We want it all nicely tied up in a bow. Mwah. We want it to be perfect.
I mean, like Sigourney Weaver used to do it, but there was something about her where you believed it. You're like, that's a bad bitch, and she's gonna fuck people up.
But she did it in the greatest science fiction movie of all time. She did it in Alien. Alien is the greatest sci-fi horror. I'll say sci-fi horror. Greatest sci-fi horror movie
it was
of all
amazing.
time, of all time. And you didn't even care that it was a woman that was the lead. It didn't even come up. It was so awesome that no one like made a big deal. Sigourney Weaver, finally a woman takes the lead role in an action. No one cared. No one cared. It was just awesome. It was just awesome. She was awesome. The movie was awesome. She got credit for being awesome, but just for being awesome, not an awesome woman or no caveats.
Yeah.
It's like, come on. It was. You could do that in 1979. You could just have an amazing movie because there was no fucking social media. There was no hen house. And you think that they make sense. They don't make any sense. Like, stop. We could just stop concentrating on fucking these stupid little classifications of each individual and whether or not they should be elevated and magnified because of gender or sex or color or what. Stop. Everyone stop participating in it. It's dumb. Meritocracy.
I would love
Meritocracy
that.
for personality, meritocracy for the way you can hold a conversation with people, meritocracy for being a better musician, meritocracy for being a funnier comedian, meritocracy. Everybody's the same. Even playing field in terms of acceptance of what you do in the world. Just do your best.
Yeah, we want the best.
Let the best rise everywhere.
I don't know, because maybe we didn't know as much about it, but like when I think of the 70s.
Maybe you'd be happier if someone who looked like you came to save you from the fire.
100%. I couldn't give a shit. A lesbian.
They'll be more comfortable if they see someone looking like them.
Yeah.
Like, what? No, my house is on fire.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be comfortable. What are you talking about? You can't carry me. I broke my leg. What do I do?
Yeah, well,
you should have thought about that
yeah,
before you
you're
got
in the
yourself
wrong
in the first place.
It's crazy. Like Apple TV is putting out insanely great programming, but you don't realize how woke it is until you're already captured, right? And then you're like, whoa, what did I just watch? Like I was watching Hijack, and I forget the name of the
That's
actor.
the Marky Mark movie?
No. It was a TV show on Apple TV, and it was the black British actor who was in The Wire. I forget what his name is. He's such a great...
Idris Elba.
Yeah, he's phenomenal, right?
Oh, he's awesome in everything.
But I'm watching this show, and about 5 episodes in, I realize this is a story of a black man who stops white hijackers from hijacking a Middle Eastern plane. Right? And you don't realize it till you're halfway in.
What is the Mark Wahlberg one? The one that Mel Gibson directed. That one was good. That was another, like, some sort of a hijacking type of situation, right? What's it called? Flight Risk? Flight Risk. Solid one.
Yeah.
Wahlberg plays a great psycho.
Wahlberg is great,
He's got some
dude.
darkness behind the eyes. He plays a great psycho.
He's also very lucky. Didn't get on a plane on 9/11. How lucky is that guy?
What are you trying to say? You got a heads up?
I'm just saying.
How about people just get lucky sometimes?
Some
Sam?
people, him and
Jeez.
Seth, who did Family Guy? Seth.
Originally scheduled to be on American Airlines Flight 11. Whoa. He changed his plans, took a different flight to Toronto, Canada for a film festival instead. Later made comments how he would have fought back against the hijackers if he had been on the
Yeah, I
flight.
don't buy that story. Not his story. I buy he would fight back. I mean, he's shredded at this point. He's still shredded. But I don't buy that whole thing. They had box cutters. So, come on, man.
Yeah, what do you think happened? Do you think that it was like automatically flown into the towers? Like it was remote flown into the towers?
Oh, well, now you're getting into like high impact events and how there's like layers. There's so many layers to it because they have to ensure.
But the actual hijacking itself, do you think that those guys that we found, luckily, it was like an amazing coincidence that even though everything from the plane was destroyed in an incredible burning inferno, his passport magically floated safely to the ground. Was it singed at all?
Yeah.
Was it even singed?
I have a show called Doom Scrolling where we just watch all these conspiracy videos, and one of them, Passport Man, where they made a superhero just out of passports.
I mean, let's watch. I'm not to make light of a tragedy, but could we see the impact of one of the planes into the towers?
Well, they found 4 of the hijackers' passports.
Oh, what a
How
coincidence!
lucky is that?
It's sometimes you just get lucky. Maybe God was looking out for us. Can you show me the video of the impact? Can we just see the video? Let's just imagine being a passport and saying, "Listen, it's your job."
You're
your job to
nestled
get
in
to
the
bottom.
pocket.
Now, all the other people on board with passports, their passports for whatever reason didn't make
Burnt
it.
up.
Yeah, all those like American citizens with passports. Yeah, they didn't.
So we can
make
get into it, dude.
all those people from other countries that were just here on vacation with their passports. Yeah, those passports didn't make it. Just going to check out New York should be cool. Nope. So let's watch the impact. Watch this and imagine if you're a passport and you got to do your job. Here it goes. What happened?
I don't know. I'm not controlling it.
Oh, that's what it did? Oh,
That's
they're not
the first
showing you the
tower.
impact?
I don't know. It showed
These
it.
sons of bitches. But I want to see the real one when it like flies
yeah,
into
where you
it.
see it go bang and then it's.
Yeah, see if you can find a video where it flies right into it.
So
Only one of those 4 were found at the World Trade Center. The other 3 were not there.
How about 18 views of plane impact on South Tower? This is like, those cum compilations on porn.
Oh, dude, it's the only
We
thing
just watch it.
By the way, 26 days off porn, everybody.
Look at this.
27.
Okay, that one, it flew into the back side of it, so you couldn't see it from that angle.
But you have that one where it's kind of up like here, and then it goes in, and then it's some weird.
Okay, here it is. Let's watch this one. Okay, so no, we're seeing it from the other side too. But I've seen it from the other way. I've seen the plane actually fly in. Someone
Yeah.
had that angle, right?
Yeah, it's from below up.
Is that it right there, Jamie?
I mean,
Try that. Try that
just-
real quick. I know, I'm just saying. That's it.
Yeah,
okay,
but-
that's it.
Yeah, if you
Okay.
slow that thing
But look,
down, it's
look, there's some papers flying out. Look. Boom, and look at all the papers. That ain't papers. That's glass, bitch. There's no way a passport is making it through that. First of all, there's nothing left. That's just goo and incineration and fire and
Yep.
jet fuel. And the jets had just taken off, correct?
Yeah,
And so they had they took off from Boston, which is very close.
we're very close.
And so they had a lot of gasoline. How the fuck's a passport? How many passports were saved?
one was found below the World Trade Center. 2 were found in the crash site in Pennsylvania, and 1 was found in luggage that didn't even make the connecting flight.
Okay, well that's different. Right.
And
But
then
the
the
fire is the big one. The crash, one fire. that one's like that's the magic bullet on steroids. That's
That-
crazy.
and then somehow it took out those 2, and then 2 other buildings. Nobody talks about Building 5.
Okay, here's a big one. The one that the
Building
Let's
6.
Roll, the Let's Roll one. They shot that out of the sky, right?
I mean, I have theories.
But doesn't that one seem like they shot that one out of the sky?
Yeah.
Because that one is weird because the wreckage is spread out for miles. Not like it crashed into the ground, but like it got shot out of the sky and slowly drifted to Earth going 500 miles an hour.
Yeah, and then
What is this? That's his passport?
I mean, that's a I'm just 9/11
Is that it?
passports. Is what I looked up.
Did they actually have the photo of it?
It's a pretty burnt passport.
Yeah, it's pretty burnt, but come on.
How about how weird is that in Neo's driver's license is the day of the attack?
Also, like, what would cause a passport that's on fire to not be on fire anymore? Just curious. Why would it stop at his face? Just curious. I mean, once things are on fire and they're made out of paper and plastic, generally they don't stop being on fire till there's nothing else to burn. How does it stop? Halfway to his face.
Well, how about all these fire? This is the big debate on tinfoil hat. We debate it all the time. You have all these houses that are incinerated, and then there's all these trees that are perfectly fine. So then you get into the debate, like what causes fire? Oh, it's drought. Okay, but why are the trees okay? Because they have water in them. Well, are we in a drought or do we have water? And that's when you get into vibrations, dude. Like
Vibrations.
like radio waves and stuff like that. That's that they can, dude. Everyone thinks it's a direct. That's a big part of this. That people think it's direct energy weapons.
Hold on. You think fires are caused by radio waves? Is what you're saying?
Like well, some people.
We're going down a rabbit.
Okay, so
hole.
I wanted to tell you this story. So right around the Paradise fires, right after that, Eddie and I are doing tinfoil hat. We do Bakersfield first, and then we go to Sacramento. In both shows, someone from PSG shows up.
What's PSG?
PSE. What is the PG&E? Excuse me. The people who have the smart meters on all of these houses. They're the ones who run the electricity and the power for all of California. First show we do in Bakersfield, a bunch of guys who look like Zero Dark 30 show up. They're like, yeah, we work at PG&E. I'm like, oh, that's super interesting because that just happened. Then the next night I'm in Sacramento, and I remember this very well because it was the last night I ever drank alcohol, ever in my life. There was some hot blonde with a fat rack. And I'm like, today's my sobriety goes away. So I have a shot with her. She tells me she's from PG&E. So both nights in a row, we have people show up to our show from this company that everybody says could be behind it with these smart meters. Okay. So
Can I ask you a question before you go on?
How big were her tits?
You're in Bakersfield. Is that what you're saying?
The first show is Bakersfield.
And
That's
what's
where
the second show?
Sacramento.
And where do these people work? Where's their building? Like where?
PG&E's all over California.
Right.
So they were at different offices.
Both of those places, a lot of people don't go to, right? Like it's when people go, when we do a show in Bakersfield, back when I lived in LA, I'd be like, holy shit, someone came out here.
Right.
Like no one goes out there.
Yeah.
So I would imagine if you're at PG&E and you're stuck in some podunk fucking town.
I mean, it's possible. It's very weird that 2 shows in 2 nights. I'm just saying it's super interesting.
It's a little weird, but it's like those people that work for these organizations.
They live
probably
lives.
just regular people living lives, and they like your show.
Well,
too.
I like conspiracies, so
I know
like
you
to think
I
there's
just like to put the brakes on some of them.
So
The radio waves causing fires is going to be a problem.
Okay, so
on Wednesday, Pacific Gas and Electric revealed to a federal judge that its utility equipment issues may have caused fires in some California counties, including Kern County. According to the court documents, May 30th and 31st, Bell Ridge Fire burned 53 acres after a power line fell, causing the grass to catch on fire. The documents also said that PG&E worker had identified a broken tie wire but was not fixed in time. So this is from 2019, right?
So
caused fires including Fresno, Mariposa, and Butte. Yeah.
So I had somebody hit me up one time, and they were talking about how there's a weird percentage that insurance companies do whether your house could catch on fire.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And fire insurance, stuff like that.
It's brutal in California now. You can't get fire insurance.
Well, she was telling me that everyone on her block had a really high rating except for her house. And I go, well, does your house have a smart meter on it? She goes, no, I'm the only one on the block that doesn't have a smart meter on it. She goes, holy shit, right? So what's really interesting about the Sacramento show, besides the big-titted PG&E person or the whatever, is I'm outside on the balcony, right? I'm outside on the patio talking to everybody after the show, and this woman comes up to me, and she goes, I live in Paradise. I go, really? I go, what happens? She goes, I have to tell you the story. She goes, I was just chilling there, on her porch or something like that, and she looked up, and she saw this, silver cigar thing in the sky, right? The silver cigar thing, and she said lights were going back and forth, and this is right before the fires, back and forth. And then she said suddenly the lights all just went boom, and then there were fires everywhere. And I stopped thinking about this story a long time ago. Then suddenly videos now are popping up all over Twitter. If you go to my Twitter, samtripoli.com, there's a video right now of a guy playing catch with his dog, and he throws the Frisbee, and when the dog goes up to grab the Frisbee, suddenly you see something just fly through the air that is a silver, like cigar-looking thing.
Okay, let me see this video because there was a time where Eddie Bravo and I got way too high and we thought that rods were flying through the air. We watched this documentary on rods. Do you remember rods?
I know.
Okay, you got into conspiracies a little later, son.
I've always been
Okay?
in conspiracies.
This was one of the dumb ones. This was a really dumb one. So there's these things that supposedly flew so fast through the
Watch this
sky
video.
that you could only see them in video footage. You couldn't see them with the naked eye. Turns out what it was bugs flying quickly close through where the lens is, and it's a video artifact. So it stretches these bugs out and makes them look like rods that are flying through the air. It's just because the video's not that good. So there was a show, I forget the show, something Finding Monsters or something like that on the History Channel, I believe. One of those shows. You know those shows?
Yeah.
And they were trying to find out what rods were. So they set up cameras, just try to see if they could capture them and film. And then they set up a super high-speed camera in the same location. And they did it over like a little campfire so that bugs would be flying around. And I think it was a campfire. Whatever, some kind of a light where bugs were flying around, and then they were filming it. And then on the high-speed camera, you could clearly see it was bugs. But on the low-speed camera, it looked like aliens. Like these things are long, tubular things that we've never identified flying through the air, but it's just video artifacts.
Okay. This thing slows it down. It doesn't look like a bug.
Let's see it.
Did you find it? It's like it was like one of the newer videos I put out. And
What do you think it is? Think it's a UFO?
Well, I don't believe in UFOs.
Oh, well then, if it's...
Do you know that we've
Then
had
identify
flying
it.
crafts that have been going 200 miles an hour before the Civil War?
We could talk
Here
about
it is.
Give me a moment. We'll talk about that in a
Okay,
moment.
so
It isn't real. It's
Okay.
almost real time.
Here's a
but
dog.
Zoomed in. And
Bro, that dog's gangster. That's a good
See it?
steep
so you
ledge.
see it? Okay.
Okay, let me see it again.
And then just let it play because it shows you what it is.
Okay.
it looks like a bug.
Yeah. Let me see. Sam, that's a bug.
You think that's a bug? Mm-hmm. Okay, he's going to slow it down. You
I think it's a fast-moving bug. Do you think that there's that thing behind it? Is that, here's the thing, is that the inability of the video to catch it? Because it doesn't seem like it, because the video is catching it. I don't know enough about high-speed filming or about what this is, the slow-mo filming. Man, the blurry shit behind it's weird.
What blurry shit?
You know, where it looks like it almost has like a jet coming out of the back.
I
What do you
think
think
that's
that
all
is?
part of it.
What do you think that is, Jamie?
It's a bug.
Right, but what's that trail behind
You think
The
that's
wings.
a bug?
The wings. Looks like a fucking.
Yeah, as it's moving fast, so it's stretched out as a video artifact, just like the rods thing. Yeah.
I wouldn't even say a full video art. It just looks like the wings of a bug, and it's like there's the body, and it's got some giant wings.
I don't.
Yeah, but
believe
what kind of
that.
bug looks like that?
And what kind
I'll
of bug
show you.
moves that
They have
fast?
them here.
But I mean, I think it's a perspective thing. I think the bug moves. Bugs move pretty fucking fast. dude.
Yeah, but
bugs moving fast in the right direction.
and that far
'Cause it's
away,
little.
you're going to see it
because
that far
it's
away.
little. It's so little that as it passes by, it gets small so quickly and gives you the illusion of more speed. Because it's so little, it disappears quickly. Like you ever see a mosquito and you see it floating through the air and then it's gone? You can't find the fucker
Right.
because there's too little.
Right, I
so they
understand
just,
that.
Once they go a certain distance away, it's like they went a
But
million
look
miles
how far
away.
away that is. I mean, that is way
I think it
far
went
away.
right over the camera. That's what I think happened. I think it went right over the camera, and I think within a couple of seconds, like look where it goes. It's like right.
It's gone.
I think it's right over the camera, in the right direction, and I think it only takes like a millisecond for a fucking bug to do that.
I think it's something.
Let's see it again. Watch. Here it goes.
Stop it at its farthest point.
Let's just not
could you?
stop it. Here it goes.
It's already gone.
It's already gone. Yeah, that is pretty fast. Okay, I changed my mind. It's an alien. Maybe, maybe there's a type of bug that I'm not aware of that moves really fast, though.
But
Where
you
is
know-
that? Where is that supposedly?
I don't know where that comes from.
That means a lot. Like, we need to know where it is.
But they've had crafts since before the Civil War. They were building crafts that went 200 miles an hour.
Okay, who's they, and where'd
Well,
you hear
the
about
US
this?
government-
Before the Civil War.
Yeah, yeah.
So before 1865.
Yeah.
They had crafts.
Yes.
That could go 200 miles an hour in the air.
Yes.
Who made them?
You could look it up. Pre-Civil War aircrafts. There was a bunch of like German scientists in America that were working with the U.S. government.
So this predates Orville Wright.
I'm just telling you, bro.
Right, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
know. I don't know dates.
I think it does, right? Isn't Orville and Wilbur Wright, isn't that the end of the 1800s? When was that? Well, you know what? I love that. You can just ask your phone. I'll ask my phone.
I love it. Go on ChatGPT.
When did Orville and Wilbur Wright fly the first plane? 1903. So you're telling me that in 1865,
Yep. I'm telling you.
in
I've
1865,
done
they had
multiple shows
flying
on it.
crafts. That well, as long as you've done multiple shows on it, it
Brother,
must be true.
I'm the truth, okay?
Where the fuck did you hear this?
I had two guys, Joseph P. Farrell was on, and he's like amazing. And he was breaking down that there were
What is Joseph P. Farrell's area of expertise?
hidden history. He does a lot in religion, particularly.
Is he self-taught?
No, he's really a great interview, man.
I believe you.
I
But
mean,
is
he's
he
a great-
self-taught? Does he have like a
Will you look it up real
traditional
quick? Yeah,
education in this stuff, or is
yeah.
it just
He's written like 1,000 books on it.
1,000?
That's a lot of books, dude. I can barely read one book. I'm stuck on Alexander II right now.
And what is he saying?
He's saying that in the pre-Civil War and during the Civil War, they had crafts that were traveling at 200 miles an hour.
Okay, and
You can find pictures of it on the internet.
well, as long as he has pictures.
Well,
on the
there's
internet,
drawings, dude.
again.
Someone took time.
As long as it's drawings.
Come
it
on,
must be
man.
real.
Well, Jamie, you're leaving me here. Hang
No,
in
he'll
here.
get you.
haven't found
He'll
it
get you.
online.
It's got to be legit.
It's there.
It sounds so legit.
Will you look up
Why
tinfoil
would
hat
they
Joseph P.
wait
Farrell?
so many years before they flew the first very primitive plane that could barely get off the ground, and credit those guys with developing the first
You
plane?
didn't say plane. You said aircraft.
Oh, that's true.
Thank you.
Oh, so is it like a blimp?
I'm trying to dig down.
Listen to Jamie getting all pissy.
I'm just saying, it could not be a plane.
Mom, Dad, stop.
Could be
It's
a,
true.
like,
It's true. No, it's a
sort
good
of
point.
glider or something.
Yeah, it could be a blimp, right? Like when they first start doing blimps. When did that start?
Well,
happening?
wasn't that the whole point of like Led Zeppelin, that they didn't want people getting on blimps, so they like crashed that shit? Everyone thinks I'm crazy. You guys think I'm nuts. I'm just telling you, bro. Everything's a psyop.
I love it. I want to hear more psyops. I'd rather go that way than the other way. That nothing's a psyop. I want to hear that everything's a psyop.
Everything's a psyop. Dude, someone should do conspiracy news. It would be 10 times better than what you see on television.
Yeah.
I was watching, like, my girlfriend can't stop watching MSNBC. Doesn't matter how much they lie to her. She's like dug in, and that's her team, right? And so I'm listening to Rachel Maddow the other day talking about like demonizing RFK Jr. about mRNA vaccines, right?
Yeah. You want a cigar? Do you smoke cigars?
No,
bro?
I don't, dude. But I'll put another Zin in.
Get it. Get that Zin. Please continue. Don't let me interrupt.
So you want to try one?
No, I'm good.
So Rachel Maddow, who just completely told everybody if you get the vaccine, there's a 100% chance you won't get COVID, is now telling everybody how important mRNA vaccines are. It's
Bro,
like,
she was only off by 100%. Give her a break. It's hard. It was a trying time. We didn't know. There were a lot of mistakes.
how
were
did
made.
I know? I'm a Dick Joe comic who's functionally illiterate.
Mistakes were made.
Not on my part.
Yeah, no. Well, it was weird to me where a lot of lefties all of a sudden were trusting the pharmaceutical drug companies.
It's really weird,
I'm like, what
right?
happened, guys? Like, what did we used to believe in? We used to think that the big pharma was like trying to make money, and you should really be taking organic food and, taking vitamins and eating healthy and drinking water and going to yoga. Like, what happened? What happened? And everybody's like, inject me. What happened?
And then, I live in California where they're all about my body, my choice, except for when it comes to vaccines.
Mm-hmm.
And I had arguments with people. I'm like, I thought you're my body, my choice, and now you're telling me I have to take a vaccine. They're like, it's different. It's not.
No.
It's not at all. None of
It
it.
seemed like it was to some people at the time, because some people got way more anxious about the pandemic than other people. And those people just, they reacted so strongly. They thought that these other people that weren't doing the right thing were fucking it up for everybody, because that's what they believed at the time. The problem is most of those people have never kind of owned up to what they did, because they were wrong, and we did get hoodwinked. And there's still people that are trying to defend it, and like, stop trying to defend it. The data's out. It didn't stop infection, didn't stop transmission. That alone would have stopped almost everybody from taking it, or a lot of people from taking it. And they knew that. They knew that from the jump. They never did studies on whether or not it would stop infection. They just wanted to see if it created antibodies. The whole thing is, when you listen to RFK Jr. talk about it, you're like, this can't be. He can't be telling the truth.
Yeah.
And then you find out he is. You're like, oh, this is nuts. This is nuts.
Right. And then have you ever seen when they broke down how long it would actually take to make like 5 billion vaccines that they wanted for everybody?
But
it would take 10 years.
It was just the thing that that they had done it in front of everybody, and everybody agreed to it. And then once they realized they agreed to it and they realized they got duped, they don't want to admit they got duped.
Yes. They want to be right, not do right.
Yeah. And then there's how many like really nutty, like Marxist, left-wing, lunatic like conferences do I see online where they're all masked?
Dude, I'm flying people in masks. They're still in masks.
Yeah.
They're still in masks. Everyone else doesn't have a mask. We're all living. They're wearing like these super heavy masks.
I said it before, but it's the Democrats' MAGA hat. That's what it is.
Yeah, it is.
It's you letting everybody
perfect.
know exactly what you vote for. You have a mask and you're wearing it everywhere.
I love it. It's like I know who the retards are.
But there's like groups online where they talk about the importance of masking, and they meet up and about how irresponsible all these non-maskers are, and COVID hasn't gotten away, and I have respiratory this and infectious that and immune suppressed this, and fuck, man.
Yeah.
What happened?
It's not good.
But it was just one cold that was a little harder than most flus, and everybody got duped.
Yeah. And then you go, what about the 5G they're cranking up? What about what they're spraying in the skies? That now is an acceptable fact that they're doing geoengineering of our skies. Like 5 years ago, you were a crazy conspiracy theorist. Now there's laws being passed about it. And you put all that together, you're like, that's how people get sick.
It's weird, like even cloud seeding, which is legal. Like you can seed clouds and you can make it rain, but like, how exact is this science? Like how you know what I mean? Like what happens if you cause floods like they did in Dubai? Did you see that shit?
Yeah, well, camels just flowing down the river.
Fucking Lamborghinis drowning.
Oh,
yeah.
Poor Lamborghinis.
All right. I found something.
Tell me something.
Nothing about 200 miles an hour, but I found multiple things talking about aircrafts, including helicopters used by the South.
The South?
The Confederate, yeah.
The Confederate Army.
Do you mind if I get my phone for a second just to see if I can find it?
I found it because I was digging through the transcript.
Bro, they had
of
the
that
General
podcast,
Lee
Sam.
helicopter.
Here's the transcript where he's talking about the history with his friend Beasley or something like that.
Who was saying this?
The guy Sam was talking about.
What is his name again?
This is his podcast.
What's his name again, Sam?
Joseph P. Farrell.
Yeah. During the point of the Civil War with the airship mystery, my friend Walter Bosley has written an interesting book called Origins about the black projects, world, and airships that existed in this country prior to the Civil War. But it didn't say anything about the speed.
Yeah, we talked about it. It was either him or the 2 episodes later they talked about how it went 200 miles an hour.
Airships.
Lincoln went to Congress to get funding, or is trying to get funding for some of this. There's a whole thing here about the balloon corps of the Army back to the Civil War.
Isn't Lincoln another one they got rumors about?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Look,
Yeah.
like the fellas.
Closeted, dog.
Or maybe like everybody did it back then.
They
That's
also
what
didn't
I'm
have a lot of
thinking.
heat back then.
So they just fucked?
The thing with the Lincoln stuff, they just said that they were like
Come over here,
sleeping
Bob. I'm
together in
cold.
the same bed. And
No, that's
whatever.
true. That's true. It's probably not that weird for us, but
Back then it was like you got excommunicated.
There's another
But
one
yeah.
of airships. They're calling them airships, is what they were calling
And there's a certain
so is that supposedly a thing where a person could get in?
Oh, yeah. So the boats with airbags is what I've been seeing. Other flying machines here.
Okay, so what that looks like is like sails, right? Can you show me that thing again? Look at that, Sam. That's like sails, like a sailboat,
But it's even
but
crazier
attached
than
to
that.
a base. So do you just jump off a cliff with that? How do you get that bitch off the ground?
One of them was describing, and I think it's in this. There was a traveling gas thing that went along with it, so it could keep refueling. Right here, see a mobile gas generator. It was accompanied by a wagon consisting of the necessary.
Oh my God.
See if you can look up
That's crazy.
Tinfoil Hat 901. That's the episode, and there's a picture of the craft that they had made.
So they're just refueling these balloons with gas.
No, but these aren't even balloons, dude. It's like literal like aircrafts that could go
Aircrafts.
200 miles an hour.
Okay. What do they
So
look like?
so the reason I bring that up is because if we go, they got these silver cigar things. Like, think about how long ago that was.
Oh, you mean that bug?
Okay, bug,
The bug
sphere,
that
whatever
flew
you want
real
to do.
fast
Yeah,
in
I
front
mean,
of the fucking
whatever helps
Frisbee?
everybody sleep at night, you know. But
Listen,
they
man.
got the tech. That's it. That's what they had in 2000 in the pre-Civil War. Walter Bosley, he came on, he talked about it.
Who drew that?
You can find those on the internet. I don't know who specific. The guy's name's up in the corner.
That thing can go 200 miles an hour?
Yep.
What's it powered by?
Oh, those are that's it. It's guys with NYMZA arrows and the secret shit. Yeah, I'm dude. I'm retarded, right?
I do now. I want to know what that
Go to
thing is.
images.
What
see.
what powered
Yeah,
that thing?
these are them. These are the crafts that they had.
Whoa.
That they were working on.
So a person gets inside that fucking
Yep,
thing?
Yep. Look at that. And then there's a
Wait
propeller
a
back
minute.
there.
Who was working on this? The South?
The North.
The North?
The North and
Oh, I
Germans.
thought you said the South.
I did. And
You
one of
said
these
the
things
South.
It said the South had some sort of helicopter. Or something.
Oh, the South had a different kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, but this thing is different.
Yeah.
Whatever this is.
Yeah.
So, is it a bunch of fans?
I don't know.
It looks like a bunch of fans, right?
or propellers, you know.
Right.
And they had that way back in the 1850s, dude. Look at those guys.
Do you really think that thing went 200 miles an hour? I think somebody lied.
Maybe, but they had that's what they said.
200 miles an hour. Step
just-
right up.
Just think of what kind of dominance you could have at that time with that kind of craft.
Yeah.
Moving that quickly.
I think they back then they used to thought if you went that fast you were going to explode.
Right.
Like you would melt.
Yeah, they used
It's
to think
witchcraft.
that. Well, they thought that before the trains,
But
right?
again,
Cars and
Germany's
trains and-
involved. Germany basically funded the North when they needed money because Lincoln was issuing greenbacks. I have one in my house. I bought a Lincoln greenback, $20 greenback. It's pretty sweet. I bought it for I forget how much I paid for it, but yeah, that's like one of my favorite things I have. But
What is this, Jamie?
Oh, these pictures on this fucking
The guy's throwing a baby.
I don't know what the fuck's going on here.
sacrifice.
Sacrificing a child for the air gods. So, do you think that most of the UFO sightings that people see are U.S. government crafts?
Yeah.
So do you think it's back engineered stuff, or do you think we invented all the technology?
I think
in
we
those
worked
crafts?
with entities that give us the technology. I mean, it goes back to what we talked before about, Admiral Byrd and, that whole thing where I think it was Eisenhower made a deal. And I told you this, and that's where the missing 401 comes from. All the people who disappear in force. That there's really weird connections between all of them. They tend to be of German descent, of high IQ, and they just disappear in the forest. And Eddie Bravo has a really interesting theory about it, about how there's all these movies about all these people dying in forests and everyone dying in the ocean, to scare you from going out there. Like, I'm afraid of sharks. Like, I don't want to go out in the ocean, but what's going on in the ocean? We see stuff coming out of the ocean all the time. What's going on way deep down there?
Well, sharks are real.
Sharks
and
are
you
real.
should be scared of them.
I
and
am
the
scared
ocean
of
is
them.
unforgiving.
And alligators.
And it's a rational fear. Having
Right.
a fear of the ocean is very
Yeah,
rational.
but Jaws makes this thing boom right in your
Right.
face, right?
Dope movie.
When probably before that nobody was thinking about sharks.
Well, Jaws is based on a real event, right?
These things could apparently go fast because they use an anti-gravity fuel called NB gas.
What? What?
That I
and
don't-
they had anti-gravity gas in in the Civil War?
Yeah, so there apparently was something. This guy Delishu, the guy who was credited with the drawings, he was in something called the Sonora Aero Club. I'll also add that they found all this in a junk pile. He moved somewhere in Texas in 1850, and they found it in the 60s, 1960s.
Yeah, and they were working with German scientists.
Wow. NB gas for lift and propulsion.
So it's like some sort of, I guess, secret aero club or a bunch of guys that were into. That's what they're, I guess.
But what does that mean, an anti-gravity fuel? I'd like to have someone read that knows what the fuck those words mean.
I'm not even sure if it's real. You know,
it
was just
doesn't
written
sound
on
like a fuel could turn.
Well, because we do it based on our
stop gravity.
timelines and this notion that we came from cavemen, and you know that.
No, I don't think that.
I think there's been multiple civilizations that just keep getting reset and reset and reset.
I think that's true. Yeah,
Thank you.
I agree with that. I think there's a lot of really compelling evidence that shows that. Have you seen Jesse Michael's new video?
No.
He's got a video on those Tridactyl mummies in Peru where he went down there and had them CAT scanned and had them. Dude.
Tridactyl? Like, are
Okay.
we talking like.
What is? Let's go to that. We'll go to that right after this.
Ammonia
NB
gas, pretty much.
ammonia gas.
Well, we'll get back to
Does it say it's bullshit?
I bailed.
I mean, it's like, how is it going to defy gravity? Unless you're talking about like just lift, like a helium balloon. Like if that's kind of anti-gravity gas, if you think about it, sort of. But that's not what I think of when I think of anti-gravity. I think of like space tech that allows you to like shoot through giant distances instantaneously, like we hear about from these crafts.
But if let's just say this is real, and I do believe it's real, 100%, like what do they have now? I mean, it's so far down the line. I mean, that's so long ago. That's like 175 years ago. The technology that they could
This
have.
part, though,
if
is
it's true.
interesting about this club. I don't know how many says flight enthusiasts in the mid 1800s there would have been. You know, people would have been interested in flying, I guess, because they couldn't do it. But
The Nazi Bell, which is a big part of World War II that nobody ever talks about.
Right. That was like a flying craft that they were trying to develop, right?
Right.
So the Nazis were apparently trying to come up with a bunch of different shapes for crafts. One was a bell, right? One was kind of flying saucer-like, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's a whole part in like.
Here's
have
the
you ever heard of
question.
Martin Bormann?
I always wonder. That's pretty dope looking. I always wonder when they talk about stuff like that, like the Nazis trying to make a flying saucer. Was that because they were trying to emulate something that they had seen, or that there was some sort of a hidden historical record of? You know, because if only the people that are at the head of the military today, or the head of these military contractors, really know whether or not there's back-engineered UFOs. If there are, they have them, and if they don't know about them, they probably don't exist, or the other companies have them, right?
Yeah.
So you got to wonder, what were the Nazis doing? Were they trying to emulate something that they knew existed? And when did governments, if there really is a real phenomenon, if this isn't just total gaslighting and propaganda and bullshit to get you to believe that aliens are out there because they've got like crazy high tech that's 50, 60, 70 years past where we really think it is. Both of those things are hard to believe, right? It's hard to believe that the government would be able to hide the kind of whatever kind of program that would develop a genuine anti-gravity engine that could move through space and time, that could go through the ocean. It makes a device transmedium, creates like a portal around it where it exists completely independently of everything that we're experiencing in 3D space. It just goes through stuff. The idea that they have that and they've kept it secret seems kind of crazy.
I don't think so.
It seems. I'm not saying it's impossible.
What I'm saying by that is like you hear famous stories of people whose fathers worked at Area 51 and he never once told them what they did there.
Oh, yeah. People keep their mouth shut.
People
and they
keep
also
their mouth
know
shut.
that they have to keep their mouth shut because if you don't, you can get in real trouble. You know, if you have top secret clearance and you go blabbing, they're listening to everything you say. They're checking your emails. They know.
100%.
100%. I think people can keep secrets. I really do.
And they have you looking over here when it's really over here. They do that all the time. Like Area 51 is kind of like the shiny object that everyone's, there's crazy. And then it's really the mountain that's like 10 miles away that they've hollowed out.
S4, where Lazar worked.
Or you get into NASA, right? Everyone thinks it's in Houston. The real NASA is in Huntsville, Alabama. So this is a funny story. So Eddie and I are doing stand-up, and we're doing the Tinfoil Hat comedy night. And we do Nashville, we pack it out. Zanies, I think it is. We pack it out, we're great. So they send us to Huntsville. And we go, I'm like, yeah, man, we're going to do stand-up in Alabama. This is going to be great. Let's go. So we drive up, we get to the hotel, we go to the comedy club, and the fucking parking lot is packed. And we're like, dog, we packed this motherfucker. It's going to be great. Well, it's like Sharon Underwood or one of those black female comics is performing there, and it's
Cheryl
all her
Underwood?
crowd. No, it's not her. It's the one who has the daytime talk show. I forget what her name is. No disrespect. She's hilarious. She packed it out, and it's her crowd. So she runs. The show goes late. Surprise. And all of a sudden, her crowd leaves. And our crowd comes in, and it's 45 people. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And I just keep looking up the door going, fuck. And he's going, I know we're in trouble because Sam's always positive about it. And you just can't stop yelling, fuck. So we do the show, 45 people. It's a great show. We have a good time. We get off stage. The sound guy comes up to me and goes, whoever sent you here set you up to fail. Because this is the real NASA. This is where all of the satellites are controlled from. This is where von Braun went when he came to America. And in Huntsville, Alabama, into the late 80s, you were not allowed to talk about how he was a Nazi because they had all convinced himself that he was forced to do it against his own will, and even though he was a horrible, horrible person. If you hear the stories about...
He was a real Nazi.
Yeah, but they convinced themselves that he did it against his own will. So that's where so they always have you look over here when everything's going on over here.
Well, that one with Von Braun is undeniable at this point. I mean, they hit it in the 1960s because they wanted all those amazing engineers. But they got some evil motherfuckers.
There's a video out there. It's called American Nazi 60 Minutes. Can you look it up? It's basically when 60 Minutes did really good work. And they interview this Boston lawyer who was like, wanted to get down to what was going on. Why are all these Nazis here? Why isn't anyone getting them? And so he's pressing, and he's doing like Freedom of Information Act, and he's pressing them. And one day they got to agree to it. So the CIA says, you can look at these documents, you can't take pictures, and you can't take notes. You can just read it. So he reads it. And he finds out that basically what happened was a Rockefeller, Nixon, and I think it was Eisenhower form a committee, and they're all the ones that bring them over. This little community. Yeah, so you got all these guys.
This is Operation Paperclip?
This is part of it. But I never knew that. I like if you're going in hiding, dude, why wouldn't you change your name? None of them changed their names.
Right.
Yeah.
They didn't have to.
Right? None of them changed. Yeah, that was
U.S.
it.
agency. So 82, U.S. agency lied to cover up Nazi spy program. Wow. 60 Minutes.
Eisenhower, yep. It was Nixon, Rockefeller, and Eisenhower.
Can you imagine 60 Minutes doing that today? Nope.
Would never happen.
Nope. Government would talk to them. Hey, guys.
Yeah, let's not.
Let's not.
Yeah.
Let's not.
Right?
What spy program? What Nazi? Shut the fuck up.
I agree, dude.
They're American heroes. They got us on the moon. Shut the fuck up.
Nobody ever talked about Martin Bormann, who was like, if you don't know Martin Bormann, you don't know nothing about World War II. Lived peacefully in Argentina, was
Look at
signing
this.
checks.
Carter tried to get him out of there. Look, scroll back up. It says, John Loftus, a former prosecutor with the Justice Department
That's him.
official Office of Special Investigations that was set up in 1980 by President Carter to root out Nazi collaborators, made the allegations in an interview with Mike Wallace on the CBS program Sunday.
Yep, I have
Nazi collaborators were given jobs in the United States, and some were later sent to the Soviet Union in parachute teams in an unsuccessful attempt to perform assassinations and start civil wars. Yo!
That is crazy!
We were flying Nazis into Russia to start civil wars.
So I had this guy on, I think I talked about last time, about the dark journalist. He does really great work. And he was talking a big reason why JFK was assassinated, that NASA was involved, because JFK wanted to give Russia all these documents and information they had about these UFOs because he didn't want them to think that they were like nuclear planes, like dropping bombs and stuff. And because NASA was so full of Nazis and they still hated the Russians, they didn't want that to happen.
Well, that might be one reason, but there's a lot of reasons why
there's
people wanted to
multiple
kill him.
reasons.
It says he said the State Department's Office of Policy Coordination is the first covert spy agency set up in the United States, predating the CIA by several months. Smuggled several hundred Nazi collaborators into America. Hundreds. After World War II for intelligence purposes. Wow. Barney Frank, Massachusetts, today called out in
Big
the House.
tits.
He's got some big ones.
So this is all before we knew about Paperclip. They're describing Paperclip.
Interesting.
In 1982.
Interesting. Wow.
Paperclip came out in the 90s, right? I don't remember when they.
I don't
came out.
remember. But it's kind of crazy that they hit it. And then, meanwhile, all these guys working for NASA had these Nazi dueling scars on their face. They look so sinister.
In the video, they interview Nazis who still defended everything they did. It was none of them changed their names. They all just defended what they did, and it was crazy. It's a crazy video to watch.
That's crazy. It's imagine Werner von Braun. They used to hang the 5 slowest Jews in front of the rocket factory.
Yep.
To motivate workers, they'd hang them.
Yep.
That was where his Berlin rocket factory.
Yep.
And that guy was the head of NASA.
Yep. And they convinced themselves he didn't want to do it. And this gets into this whole thing that about what's going to happen in Gaza and in it's basically it's all been prophesized, dude. What's going to happen next?
What does it say, Jamie?
The State Department's quote for this is 1982. So it's only 30 years after. It's crazy.
It says we never comment on intelligence matters, and we are not commenting on something that happened in the 1950s.
That'd be like saying we're not commenting on anything that happened in the 90s. Fuck off.
Right? Could you imagine? You imagine? I mean, we're still trying to find out what the fuck happened to JFK. That was 63.
I think there's one person still alive, and that's why they don't want to tell you about it.
Really?
It's a
Which
woman.
guy?
It's a woman.
What'd she do?
I don't know exactly her role in it, but she supposedly is a part of it, and she was like kind of some like.
So when she dies, they'll release the hounds?
They'll release more of it, unless the families don't want. But that's why they're slow rolling this out, because they don't want anyone who's still alive to face any prosecution.
My question was always, though, what could possibly be in there? It's not like we shot him. This is where we stood. You know, Bobby took the first shot.
That's my point with the Jeffrey Epstein list is like, what do you think they're going to do? What their name and what they ordered?
Right.
You know, they're never going to have that.
Well, the list is one thing. What she was saying about videos is another thing. That's crazy.
Well, that's the whole point that they believe behind the P. Diddy trial is that it was really about getting his tapes. And why would they release the names when they could have the names and blackmail everybody on the list and in the videos?
Right.
Why would they give that away? Why would the intelligence agencies do that when they can control these people now?
Right. And if you see one of them in a Pfizer commercial, you know what's up.
Yeah, 100%. I'm like, you remember during the height of it, you're like, oh, you did something weird. I like to watch politicians who are pushing all this fucking bullshit, whether it's COVID or BLM or Nazi or Zionism and all this shit. And I go, what weird shit do they got you fucking on video? What weird shit? When Pam Bondi, who was a part of the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing in Florida, and now she's like, yeah, there's videos. There's no video.
What do you mean a part of it in Florida? What was she a part of?
So when the first time he gets arrested, she was part of that whole thing.
She was part of the prosecutors?
She was like some AG or something in Florida.
Was she involved in that case?
Yeah.
Oh. Interesting.
And you're like, what do they got you doing?
Well, there's so many people that would be implicated. That's what's nuts, watching it not play out and watching these powerful people sort of huddle up together and hold the line. It's kind of crazy.
And you got all these pedo hunters, and they're doing great jobs getting these guys off the streets, but they're all low level.
Yeah.
It makes you feel like, oh, we're doing something. No, you're just getting low level guys out. You're not getting when the Me Too movement and they were accusing people of all this, and they're trying to make it seem like these guys are a part of it. No, dude. You know, if you're 17-year-old going to a comedy concert and then you go home to your parents still, you're not part of that. It's like 80% of the children who go missing are from foster care. Like, people don't understand that. It, like, involves dark-ass shit.
Do you remember there was a story that was in some sort of a television show about a scandal that involved child sex trafficking with politicians? It was like in the 90s or something like that.
There was weird stuff in Different Strokes. They constantly had episodes on that stuff.
The TV show Different Strokes?
Yeah. They had one where, like, the guy owned a bike store, was giving the kids wine.
What?
Yeah. It was. I just saw that pop up on one of my feeds, my algorithms.
But, like, wasn't there was some sort of a story that I can't remember what TV program it was. But
Was it the Franklin scandal or the Finder scandal, and where the FBI
Conspiracy of Silence. DeCamp investigates nationwide child abuse network reaching government officials, exposes systematic exploitation by power
Franklin
figures.
scandal, which
Yeah.
involves Ronald Reagan
93, that's it.
and George involves Ronald Reagan and involves George Bush Sr.
Imagine if you are a government official and you're also a pedophile and you have to like sniff around to find out if anybody else is a pedophile.
I think they
Imagine
know,
how crazy that
I think
is.
you get in there because they know that about you. Everything's about data, dude.
So you think they get pedophiles into office knowing that they're pedophiles because they can control those people.
And then they feed them their addiction, and then they control them through that. I mean, I'm convinced that's why Pornhub is free, and they find out who's commenting on these videos and what they're into, and then they can find out, hey, does this guy have any political desires? And then they kind of push him in these directions. There you go.
From the kind of porn you're whacking off to?
100%. That's why it's free, and that's why they're just seeing
They're just trying to recruit politicians.
You've heard about the 100%
But
gay programs. That's what that's all about. Who's in smart ones? Who's the psychopaths? And before they had all that, they were just going on campuses, talking to the professors. Who's a really smart guy? And then that's what they did with the Unabomber. They knew he was a super smart guy, so they put him through all this CIA stuff, and they fractured him.
Well, he was fucked up from the beginning. Do you know his story? Do you ever watch the
yeah.
Netflix documentary? He had a disease when he was a child, so he wasn't touched for like
7 days or something like
a lot
that.
longer than that, I think. I think it was a long period of time during like his childhood developmental process. And they said he just like never had any empathy and he would snap on people. And then they put him in the Harvard LSD studies. And so the studies involved like humiliation, a lot of crazy shit.
But they never deprogrammed him after. It's that famous.
How are you going to deprogram a guy who got broken from childhood because he got left alone when, during a time his mother's supposed to be holding him, he's supposed to have contact with a person.
Yep.
He's a fucking baby. And
Yep.
he's just, no one's touching him for like however long time it was. And then you get him involved in these LSD studies. Because his brother said that he would like snap at people and like he would write like horrible letters to ladies if they rejected him. Like he was already fucked up. Mm-hmm. And then they get him in the LSD studies.
Did he end up in Stanford?
Yes.
Yeah, that's got a lot of intelligence agencies
Wasn't it?
around it.
Am I saying that?
If you study the
But I might have just, I don't know why I agreed to that so quickly. I know
Thank you.
he was eventually in Montana alone, right? That's where he was launching the bombs out of and like sending shit through the mail
Right.
and blowing people up. He had like a cabin in Montana. I think it was using, why do I think it was Berkeley?
that whole Kavanaugh trial,
Was he from Berkeley? Did he teach at Berkeley?
or he was a student or a teacher's aide.
I briefly taught at Berkeley.
Yeah,
He briefly taught at Berkeley.
in that whole area.
Yeah. Where all the loonies were.
That whole Kavanaugh trial for Supreme Court was a giant charade to get you to not actually look at his history. That whole, because the woman who accused him worked at the CIA program at Stanford, and they didn't want you to look into that Kavanaugh was a deep state guy. He wrote the Patriot Act. He helped cover up Whitewater. I mean, they didn't want you looking at it, so they made it into a section.
He wrote the Patriot Act?
He helped write the Patriot Act. He doesn't believe in. He believes in warrantless entering houses. He thinks the president's above the law. They didn't want you ever discussing that stuff, so they make it a sex trial that by a woman who has deep connections to the CIA. Her father was in charge of finding funding for black op operations. So she's spook to the core. And she comes out, she says this stuff.
So you think that was a diversion and it wasn't really that she was calling him
100%.
out? It was just to get you to concentrate on that and not for people to focus on...
100%.
Wow. Where'd you read that?
Streets.
The streets.
I'm just telling
Heir
you,
to the
Joe.
streets.
I'm telling you this. This is all charade. No one ever discussed his actual background and what he actually was a part of.
Interesting.
Because nobody would want a guy who thinks the president's above the law and the cops shouldn't have warrants to come in your house as a Supreme Court justice.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy did something to me in school. He journaled about it. Who journals? I know one guy that's journaled in my life. My buddy Tony. That's it. Nobody else has ever journaled. And
so it's easily refuted, but it's contentious.
But the Me Too movement's
Everyone's
going.
paying attention to it. Yeah.
All these like female comics in LA are commenting on it.
Boy, that's nuts. That's nuts if that's really what it is. But what a great way to use social media and the whole outrage machine as a tool.
It's a smokescreen.
Because the outrage machine it's so fun to pull the buttons. Like we're
doing something. Release the Krakens. Release all the bots.
Yeah.
Release all that stuff.
People love to get involved too because it makes you feel like you're a part of a movement.
Gives you purpose.
Yeah. Yeah, it gives you something.
I stumbled across this one day. Remember we found out information about the Epstein people who were on the island, I suppose.
Right.
Do you know how they found this information out?
No.
So they used mobile phone data and did like cross references to feel like this person's been here. They don't know who the people are, but they're like, this phone at least has been here, here, and here, so it most likely could be this person, something like that.
Wow.
What's interesting though is about this: the company that did it is owned by a person that was tied to Brett Kavanaugh. He was like in that. I think he was in the college story that this whole hearing was about.
So did you ever hear that how they use phone data with the Kamala Harris arena shows? They were
yes,
right, and it was
Yeah,
all the same
say it,
people
yeah.
every time. People go, well, "How did she blow $1 billion filling arenas?"
Yeah. They tried to manufacture a big grassroots movement behind her.
Because they know that's what killed Hillary Clinton. Bernie Sanders is doing arenas, and Hillary Clinton's putting Sam Tripoli numbers in a cafeteria of like 40 people. So they realized the illusion of that. They what that shows, that there's nobody following her. So when they run her out, we can't let this happen again. So we have to fill these arenas up, and they did data that was like a Grateful Dead concert. People were just following her around everywhere.
Well, they were professionals. Yeah, I mean, they were making a living doing that.
Yeah, 100%.
And then there's also people that are professional protesters, which is wild. There's guys that have documented people protesting at different places, and he's talked to them about like, how much do you get paid? And like people are making a living protesting.
Yeah.
And how is that legal? How is it legal to hire someone to go and annoy people?
Yeah, I thought it was illegal. You're not allowed to protest something you don't believe in.
But it just
You can't just show up and hold a sign.
Maybe they believe in it. They're getting paid and they believe in it. That's what they would say. You can't tell someone they don't believe in something.
Well, some people are dumb, and they'll be like, I don't even know why I'm here. I'm just collecting checks and getting a sandwich.
100. There's always going to be people like that.
Yeah, they give away
Always.
secrets.
There's always going to be like really dull-minded people that grew up in a house with a gas leak, and there's just no saving them.
Yeah, I mean, just common sense isn't that common.
No, what's not just that. I think some people's brains don't function well.
Yeah.
I just think you're just born with a bad brain. And then you also maybe have environmental factors. Like, what if you're fucking working with certain chemicals every day? How many people are doing that for a living? How many people are working in print shops just like sucking in all them fucking chemical fumes? Ugh. What does that do to your dome? That can't be good.
And who knows what, about what you took in as a child.
Oh, yeah. Leaded gasoline when we were young. That shit was everywhere. We got lead poisoning in the brain for sure. Drops your IQ a little bit. Measurable.
Yeah, I took all the lead.
We talked about that the other day. They fucking knew that lead was going to poison people, and they put it in anyway because they could save money.
Did you ever hear the conspiracy about that?
About what? Leaded gasoline?
About lead?
No.
That it doesn't really cause that, and the reason they wanted to get lead out of paint is because it made it harder for them to see through walls. And that's why all these new houses have glass windows for walls. They're like, look at your amazing view through this glass window. I was watching like one of those home flipping shows, and they took out a wall and they just put a giant glass there. And the theory is that it's easier to look through that.
Oh.
And you know, now they've discovered that there's these mystery vans driving around that can look right through your walls and watch what you're doing. Is this too much?
How are they looking through your wall? What are they using? I know they can do it with Wi-Fi now.
Yeah,
right?
that's basically what they're doing. They just have this.
Wi-Fi is bananas. The fact that they have technology that allows you to see like 3D images in a room based on how the Wi-Fi is somehow or another like sending it back to them. Like what is Wi-Fi even doing to you? Like what is happening to you if this shit is just around you all the
100%.
time, passing through your cells?
Have you
and
ever
that they can
like?
see it on a? I mean, the fact that they can see it, you know, like everyone's scared of radar machines, right? Everyone's scared of going through an X-ray,
Yeah.
right? You don't want that radar machine.
The
X-ray
guy
machines.
giving you
they give you
the
a giant
X-ray
lead
is
shield
like
for your dick.
behind a giant wall protecting
They
it.
go fucking hide.
Yeah.
They go hide and they press the button, and we're just cool with Wi-Fi. It's just
It's
low
fast.
level. It's not as bad as an X-ray, but it's this weird low level signal that they say it fucks up bees, right? Or at least cell phone signals. They
And
say
birds.
that fucks up bees. Really?
Like, I don't know if it's ever happened to
Have
you.
you seen this week or two?
I
recently?
did. Yeah, new contact lenses give people infrared vision even with their eyes shut. Sci-fi style technology uses nanoparticles to convert infrared light into visible light that humans can see. Fucking yo.
How about those
Bro,
night
night
vision
vision
goggles
people.
that they had to change the color because they were seeing things that weren't on the radar?
What?
I think it was like red. They were
Like
doing.
aliens?
They were. Yeah.
Really?
They were seeing things flying around them, and they were flipping out because they had red night vision goggles, and that's why they changed it to either green or blue because the red.
things in red they show up. They don't show up in other colors.
Yes.
Jamie.
This is too weird, man.
The account of early night vision goggles used in Vietnam War revealing alleged demonic entities. Whoa. My dad did drugs and made up stories about Vietnam. That's perfect.
Yeah. I mean,
Also, I just distracted you from the Tridactyls.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Thank you. So Jesse Michaels released a new video. He went down to Peru, and these people have been telling him about these mummies. They're like, you have to see them in person. They are humanoid, but they don't seem to be human. They have a different amount of ribs, but they have like all the cartilage and all the ligaments and all the bones and everything is in place that makes it look like, if you can go to Jesse's show, go to his YouTube channel because he's got some video footage of the actual like CAT scans and they're showing you the tissue.
and look at those
It's
skulls.
bananas. So this is Jesse's take. I'm paraphrasing. I hope I'm not fucking this up. But some of these things are forgeries. Some of these things are just fake stuff. It's just like an art piece that someone created. But he thinks they actually have some of them that appear to be a real creature.
Whoa.
And this real creature has 3 toes and 3 fingers. And there's depictions of these in Peru in these ancient like carpets and ancient weaves that are hundreds of years old. I think even 1,000 years old. So some of these they think are 1,700 years old, and some of these are as recent as 400 or 500 years old.
Elongated
But look at this.
skulls.
But look at this tissue, elongated skulls. But like, look at how everything is in. Like, if this is a piece of art from 1,700 years ago, if somebody created this. Like, that's nuts, man. That's an amazing piece of work if it's really just art. And if it's not art, well, they've managed to find some kind of creature that might have been another type of human that we didn't know existed. There might be, look, they find out, and Jesse was telling me this on the phone, like, look at, this is the scan of this thing's bone structure. This is the actual thing. Like, how nuts is that, man? If that's fake, that's fucking extraordinary because it looks like a real creature.
I mean, the amount of detail.
It looks incredibly real. I mean, this is incredibly real. And the head is very different
That
than
was
ours.
creepy.
Very
Damn.
different than ours. Elongated. but also matches up with so many descriptions that people have had with encounters with beings, including the James Fox movie Moment of Contact about Varginha, Brazil in the 1990s. They described things that looked exactly like this. Very small, like 3 feet tall, 3 fingers, 3 toes. That's what these things are. Like, they might have been another form of human that we just don't have any evidence for. Well, like Denisovans, they just found recently. I think it was in the last decade, right? And then there's those new people. What is Homo juliens? Is that what it was? December of 2024, they released this paper. We found another type of human. The Flores people, the Hobbit people in Flores, that's like, I think, the 90s. You know,
Florida's
so
interesting, dude.
all of it's interesting. It's like there's a bunch of stuff that we're just now finding out, but we want to be rigid and pretend that we know the entire landscape as far as like what different type of humanoids have existed.
Timelines.
What the fuck is that then? If that really is 1,700 years old, if that's true, or 700 years old, if that really is that, and that's a real being, and then there's more than one, and one of them has a fetus inside of it, they think also has 3 fingers and 3 toes. So they're trying to get better scans on this thing, but it has a fetus inside of it. Like, if that's a hoax, like what? Like, I want to know. I want to know who carbon dated it. What's the results? Have they done it more than once? Okay, do we know for sure how old it is?
Piece of metal.
Yeah, one of them has like an implant on the back of its head.
Got a rare metal that's hard to.
Yeah. I can't recommend this episode enough. Alien Mummies Found in Peru, and it's on Jesse Michaels' channel, American Alchemy. Great fucking show. And he goes deep. And he actually went to Peru to see these things and get them studied and scanned. And there's biologists that are looking at this that are saying this is a real creature. Whatever this is, we need to do more tests and find out more. And they're very suspicious about the actual location in which the guy said that he found them, because it's basically, these are like grave robbers that find these things, man. Yeah, and they found more than one. But the crazy thing is, show them the ancient art from Peru that shows 3-fingered, 3-toed beings, because they look just like that thing.
100%.
And this ancient art is hundreds of years old, man. Like, look, they all have fucking 3 toes and 3 fingers. This is all in Jesse's episode too. Just go watch that episode if you're interested in
My theory on our reality is every movie you've ever watched in your life all going on at the same time. All of it. All of these movies just kind of tell you what's really going on. And aliens and 3-fingered
like
beings.
Harry and the Hendersons. So
everything.
Bigfoot's real and he's hanging
Bigfoot-
out at the camp.
It's very interesting. I had an interview with a guy named the Paranoid American, and he came on my show, and he was talking about how based on your religious beliefs is what you see. So like if you're atheist, you see aliens. If you're religious, you see angels, and it goes down to cryptids and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's like you only see what you want to see, and it shows up in the form that is acceptable to you.
Right.
And so I think, so when you go Bigfoot, 100%. 100%. One of the craziest stories ever told to me was by a guy I met at a show. And he was telling me he did a show where people would send in their like high weirdness like stories, and he said that a guy was driving through the forest with his girlfriend and dog, and they pull over for a second to piss, and the dog takes off. So he goes and chases him through the woods, and he looks at his dog. His dog's looking up. He looks up. There's like what seems to be a giant green screen with something crawling on it. And they're just staring at it. And then the thing stops, notices them there, camouflage stuff. He looks down, his dog has already ran back and abandoned him. And he ran back, and his girlfriend saw him. They're like, let's get the fuck out of here. And that gets into like, kind of like the whole, again, missing 411 is that it's almost like Grand Theft Auto. You ever drive to Vegas in Grand Theft Auto, it has to render itself forever. So the whole theory is that these people go missing because the simulation doesn't want to render for just one person, and that's why they disappear.
That's possible. Let me give you another possibility. Getting lost in the woods is easy. Getting out of the woods is hard. You could easily starve to death trying. You could easily break a leg, get injured, and no one would ever find you.
Isn't that what
The
Canada's
odds of
doing
you-
right now?
No. Well, listen. The odds of you getting found if you die in the deep wilderness are not very high. They might find your clothes, but your body will be scavenged, All kinds of animals will eat you. They'll drag your bones away. There'll be nothing left. If there's bears in the area, there might literally be nothing left. If there's pigs in the area, there'll be nothing left. Nothing. They'll eat your bones. They'll eat everything. There'll be nothing left. So if you're just a person and you go missing and you're in the deep woods, like miles in, you're in a bad place. And they might not ever find you. That's just a fact. There's too much acreage to look over. There's millions of acres of public land that people could just go into. And people go missing, man. And you can't find them.
Have you ever heard
use
of
cadaver
missing
dogs.
411?
Sure. Yeah.
And how they let these people disappear and then they're found totally somewhere else and they can't remember what just happened?
Well, that's the Travis Walton story, bro.
Yeah, that I just
That's
saw
my
that.
boy.
Yeah, that is
Travis.
a crazy story.
Yeah, he was one of the more interesting people that I've talked to that have had experiences. Because he, I'd say the same about Bob Lazar. They don't seem like they're lying. They don't seem at all like they're lying. Lazar seemed like he was telling me, this is going to sound crazy, but here's a story. That's what it seemed like. Like, it did not seem like a guy making up a story. And then you go back and see him talking about it in the 1980s. He's talking about it the same way.
Exact same talking
I'm
point.
inclined, the more time goes on,
Well,
to
that's the
believe
meeting
it.
with Eisenhower where he makes a deal with them, with the aliens, is that they want to be able to do tests and kidnap and all that stuff, but he makes a deal that you can only do it in the forest. You can't do it in the regular places, so that's why
Right.
people go missing in the forest. Now, obviously, bad things happen and you never hear from them again, but supposedly these people disappear and then they're found a couple days later in a totally different place and they can't remember what just happened.
Well, if I was going to do it, I mean, I had a bit in my act about it. That's what I would do. I wouldn't land on the White House lawn. I'd find some dude cooking meth, just snatch him up, and like
guys
go
are
tell
the
somebody.
best.
You're not gonna. No one's gonna believe you,
no one's
bitch.
gonna believe you.
Yeah, but that's if you're just looking for biological studies. If you're just doing tests on people. A lot of people have talked about hybridization programs that they're exposed to, like their children, like they had been multiple times they had visited, and then they were shown like a human alien hybrid that they were told is their child. Wild,
Dude,
shit.
that is crazy.
Wild.
Yeah.
Guys are getting fucked by female aliens. Female aliens like hold them down, riding their dick, and like actually having sex with them.
Trannies are from the future.
No, I don't think they're trannies. I think they're aliens. They're just a different kind of whatever the fuck we are. I think we're a combination of whatever some intelligent, advanced species,
God.
whatever. Well, the God ultimately for the whole thing, for the whole ball of wax. But I have a feeling, just like we've done weird shit and created poodles, I think someone might have come here and, for lack of a better term, monkeyed around
Yeah.
with our genes and added some good shit. And that's in a lot of ancient texts, man. That's in a lot of ancient depictions of how the gods created men.
And that's how Nephilims come. Fallen angels, the daughters of men.
It gets weird. That's
Well-
where it gets weird because nobody wants to even consider the possibility that we have been genetically engineered. No one wants to consider it because it's kind of crazy. But also, guys, look how different we are than everything else.
Yes.
I mean, it's kind of weird.
Yes, and they
kinda
can't
weird.
explain the jump
Yeah.
from monkey to man.
Yeah.
There's no link to that.
Well, there's links. I mean, there are transitionary fossils. Like you can see like Australopithecus, you can see the different ones, but there's a lot of weirdness in there that it doesn't cover. And one of them is the doubling of the human brain size over a period of like between, I think it's somewhere around 1 million or 2 million years. The human brain size doubled. And it just, they're like, what happened? What happened?
I know
Maybe it
you-
was mushrooms. Maybe it was, but also maybe mushrooms are aliens, and that's real possible. That it's alien life form that like exists on our planet and gives you enlightenment if you consume
I
it.
want to microdose during jiu-jitsu. That's what I would like to do. I would love to do. Didn't you just have that one politician on talking about
Rick Perry.
the book of Enoch, the woman?
Oh yeah, Anna Paulina Luna. Yeah.
Well, it's like that's a super. You bring up Gnosticism, Christians get really upset. I don't know what the answer is. I mean, I'm a spiritual man. It's like one God, Jesus is my savior. That's what I'm into right now. Makes me happy and it vibrate on a higher level. But if you study Gnosticism, the whole story of the demiurge is very interesting. That's where fallen angels mating with the daughters of men come from. And that's where the original feminist was. The first ever feminist was Sophia, who was the feminine energy of the universe. And literally, she was like, I don't need a man, right? She literally said, like, I don't need a man. And she creates life. And she instantly knows she made a mistake, which sounds like every single mother to me, right? So she creates the demiurge. And the demiurge doesn't understand about the higher table of gods, and he thinks he is God. And a lot of people believe the first God of the Testament is the demiurge.
Oh, okay.
And his whole thing is about just basically he wants to destroy humanity. That's kind of what everyone talks about in Satan. But Sophia gave us the spark of life. She gives us a spark.
Wouldn't you want to know, go back to the time where they were writing the Bhagavad Gita?
I would love that.
And go, what do you know?
Yeah.
How are you writing
I think
this?
about that all
What's
the time.
a Vimana?
Yeah.
Like, what are these flying crafts you're talking about?
Yes, dude.
In
And
the Vedic texts.
And you,
Like,
so you talk about fallen angels. A lot of people think that's Christian mumbo jumbo. I don't believe it is at all, because the Vedics talk about it and the Hindus talk about it, about God trapping entities in this realm that we live in. So I think the Vedics were 4, the Hindus I think are 2 or 3, and then we have the 33%, which is the fallen angels. And then they come down, they get trapped here. And that's the whole thing about transhumanism, is that they're trying to figure out how to get out of here.
Have you ever seen Lazar talk about the weirdest shit that he heard when he was at S4?
No, what was
He
it?
said the weirdest shit was they said they had a very thick file that was about religion. And basically what it boiled down to is, at least what this file was saying, was that they view us as containers.
Yes.
And he wasn't specifying containers of what, like containers of souls, and like I don't know, but that's the terminology they used. They view us as containers. Can you imagine if like a soul is an energy that you have to farm or that you have to extract, just like how we extract oil from the earth, that souls are things you extract, and so you need to grow a bunch of them. So you need people to just fuck up a storm and clutter up a planet, and really what you're doing is just farming souls.
Yeah, dude, that's so
Can you imagine?
crazy.
You think that you're an OnlyFans model
Yeah.
and you're a DJ at a strip club and you're a football player and you're a top scientist and you're this and you're that and but really on the highest level, you're just in a farm. You're in a farm and there's a super intelligent entity that's above and beyond anything you could ever comprehend, and the only thing it doesn't have is souls. So it needs souls, because souls are a real element. It's just like you need cobalt to make a battery.
Yeah,
You need
that's the belief.
You actually need a soul.
We're the battery that runs the simulation. It's so deep, dude.
Well, why would it? Why is that weirder than black holes? You know, why is that weird? I was watching this thing on Twitter yesterday. I still say Twitter.
I
where
do too.
They were discussing this black hole that's as big as our galaxy. That seems weirder. That seems even weirder than we were genetically engineered. We were genetically engineered. Seems like some shit that we would do.
Yeah.
Like I've had Ben Lamb and Beth Shapiro on from Colossal. Those are the people that brought back the dire wolves.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
By the way, do you know what else that guy did?
What else did that guy do?
That guy created it so that you can store files in DNA.
Whoa.
You can actually store So I had a guy on, he's like, you know where the Epstein files are? They're in somebody's DNA. That's what they can. You could look it up, Jamie. The guy literally created that you could put files in people's DNA.
Whoa.
That
I don't
is
know which
some-
guy that did that, but
The one who did the dire wolf, the
they're
bearded
doing
guy.
They're doing a bunch of stuff. That's Ben Lamb. They're doing a bunch of stuff, and they're eventually going to bring back the mammoth. Oh. And they're going to,
I don't know how it feels. Like, this seems like some Jurassic Park shit where it gets away
That's what I
from
said
us.
to him. I said, it's, this is like the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
Weird shit you're bringing
But-
back.
The thing is, it gets.
What is the purpose of it, though, dude? What is your thought on why we should be bringing these back?
Because it's cool. That's it.
Hey, sometimes
That's
the simple answer is the right answer.
Yeah, sometimes you bring things back just because it's cool. Should you bring back dire wolves and let them loose? No. They're bigger than regular wolves. They're super powerful. You're making a mistake. Like, regular wolves are hard enough to deal with. And dire wolves might very well like to hunt people. It's like super possible.
Yeah, it's like introducing those anacondas or boas into like the Florida Everglades.
Yeah.
It's like they're just dominating.
Just bringing regular wolves into a place fucks everything up.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
look what's going on in Colorado.
How about the cute animals? Can we bring back cute ones?
Yes.
That's what I'm looking
cutie
for.
pies. Bring back the cutie pies. But then they're all going to get eaten because you're going to have to eventually let them go, and then something's going to fucking prey on them, and then you're going to have a disaster.
Have you
or
ever-
they're going to wind up eating a bunch of shit that they're not supposed to eat, and they're going to kill some species off. That happens all. That's like Australia's like got multiple cases of like different animals they brought in to combat different animals, and now they have like feral cats everywhere. And jeez,
Have you ever heard of orphan trains?
what?
Have you ever heard of the
No, what
orphan
is that?
trains?
What is
This
that?
reminds me of the orphan train. I remember when I was a kid, I would see cartoons and they're like, this orphan train's going to go off the tracks. And I'm like, why are there a bunch of orphans in the trains? And then you start getting into what that really is. This is where Cabbage Patch dolls come from.
What? I need more
Genetic.
coffee.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you saying?
Orphan trains, dude.
What is an orphan train?
The theory is, you know, and they kind of did this in Canada with the indigenous, where they sent them to other parts of the country so they couldn't learn any of their culture. And basically, the thought is that either they've brought kids from where they were born and brought them to the other parts of the country and gave them to the elites to raise as children or do whatever they wanted to do with them. Yeah, here it is.
Okay, it says orphan trains were large-scale social experiment in the United States where orphaned, abandoned, or homeless children were transported from crowded eastern cities to rural areas in the Midwest to be adopted or placed in homes. Between 1854 and 1929, an estimated 200,000 to 250,000 children were relocated primarily by the Children's Aid Society and its founder, Charles Loring Brace. This movement is considered a precursor to the modern foster care system.
So that's a very clean version of it.
Right.
But the whole belief is that these are the children of, I'm just going to throw out a name out of Tataria or stuff like that, and that they're the children of this to kind of erase history. Well, it gets even crazier into Cabbage Patch dolls, right? These Cabbage Patch kids. And they had these world fairs where they would literally sell like incubated children.
Yeah.
Have you heard of that?
No.
And Jerry Seinfeld says both his parents were those type of kids.
What is it, incubated children? What does that
If you
mean?
look up World Fair Cabbage Patch doll kids, basically almost like science laboratory children.
Hold on. What are you saying?
What?
I can't hear you, Jamie.
Something weird popped up when I Googled. I'm trying to figure out what this is before I.
What is it?
I'll just show you. We're not anywhere real yet.
Cloning.
Cabbage Patch
It's a
Kids and the
postcard.
Mystery of Repopulation postcards.
And Seinfeld says his parents are both those. And they would have displays at World where you could go and get a kid.
Wait a minute. What do you mean his parents were? What you saying? His parents were made in a lab? Is that what you're saying?
I think he said his parents were either orphan train kids or Cabbage Patch kids. And a lot of people think that's where the
Well,
NPCs come from.
Orphan trained kids would mean that his parents were orphans and they were shipped off to
Or
another
whatever
family in
we're
the
being
Midwest.
told. You know, but that's what he said.
Well, we have to Google that. That sounds like a
Sam Tripoli crazy
We
thought.
have to make sure that that's correct.
Okay.
That sounds crazy. But
The
what
whole
is-
show
I don't
sounds
understand
crazy.
what the Cabbage Patch thing is, though. What are you saying that is?
They were cloning kids.
Well, when was cloning even possible? When did it first become possible?
Hundreds and hundreds of years they've been
Say
cloning.
this. Here, there's a thumbnail that links all three things he's talking about together, but I don't know where this goes.
Bro, you go down the wrong Reddit threads, don't you?
No, dog, at all.
Orphan
I'm only
trains
on like
Cabbage Patch babies, so they're growing them in a Cabbage Patch, and then World's Fair incubator babies.
look at that guy over there holding two babies up. These are incubator babies.
Is
Look
that
at
what he's saying? So what is an incubator baby?
sounds
Is
like
it raised entirely in an incubator? Like, what does that mean?
how early 19
Boardwalk attractions save thousands of premature babies' lives. Oh, okay, so it's premature births. in
that sounds
incubators.
I don't know, man, because supposedly you can
Infant
get a kid at the
incubators.
world fairs.
But I do know that people do that when a child is premature, right? They put them in an incubator. That's
But the word is that you could get a kid there.
so you could buy a kid.
Yeah,
So someone would have this premature birth and then put the kid up for sale.
maybe. I mean, that's what this is trying to tell us. I don't know if that's real though, but that goes back to the world fears and we talked about before. It's just like technology beyond what we understood and what we know now. And they wipe that all out.
Why would they do that? Do you think they wipe it all out, or do they think they hide it in secrecy?
Well, they probably still have it, but they don't want us to have it.
Like, what do you think happened with all of Tesla's notes when he died and whatever organization
I don't know.
broke into his home? What's
Trump's
up, Jamie?
uncle.
No, yeah, Trump's uncle got him.
Oh, that's right.
He went in there early because he was in
Some
Yale.
of them were missing when
and then he
turned
grabbed
back
them
in.
all before. And that gets into that little Baron Trump book and the last
Yeah.
president and all that stuff. That's like time travel stuff,
Yeah.
which I think is totally possible. I think time isn't this. I think time is this. And everything's going on at one time. And it's like a book. Like if you're reading a book, you can be on page 46 and 46. That's the reality of the time. But you can jump to page 320 and now that's the reality of time. And then you can go back to page 18 and that's the reality of time. I think that's.
So, do you think that will eventually be able to manipulate that, or we can?
I think
right
we already
now?
can.
Who's we though?
The masters of
The
mankind.
Illuminati, man.
The masters of mankind, the 13 families. The 13 families made deals with fallen angels. That's my
Whoa.
power. That's the power structure of the world.
And what method are they using to travel back and forth through time?
Whatever technology they got.
So do you think that if, let's say, they back engineer a UFO in 1947 and these companies get involved that know how to make technology, all these different contractors, Boeing, Lockheed Martin, whoever it is, they manufacture a time machine. They manufacture a time machine based on what they have learned, and they start to use it, and they go back and forth and move around time. Do you think eventually they'd want to tell somebody?
I
Or
think
do you
they
think they
know.
just use it
Again,
for
it
their
goes
own-
back to data. They know who's crazy enough, who can keep a secret, who can do all that stuff. That's what they always say about if they fake the moon landing. Wouldn't somebody in there say something? Well, people do say something and they end up going missing. But most of them understand like they're in on it. The only people get into that room are the ones that they know are in on it. Have you ever seen when India landed on the moon? Have you ever seen that video?
It's just a probe, right?
It's not even a probe. It's like an Atari graphic that lands. Cuber had better graphics than that. And they're all cheering in the room. They're all high-fiving each other.
You don't think India landed a probe on the moon? Can I see it? I want to see if I believe it. I've had so many people that.
Pretty bad.
Let me see. Is this guy full of shit? What happened? All right, let's see it. No, that can't be real.
Yeah, that's what they're landing.
Wait a minute. Hold on. We're seeing just flashes of it.
I mean, this wouldn't be a live video of it because
Okay.
you would be landing two things
Right.
at the same time.
But I want to see what happens when it actually touches down. Wait a minute. That's it? Yeah. Hold up. Okay, everyone needs to go to jail. You guys all need to go to jail. You guys all need to go to jail. That's so fake.
But they're all.
What'd you do with the money? What did you do with the money?
They got
you
their own
sons of
island.
bitches.
Yeah,
How
dude.
dare you? Imagine how much money they spent on that probe.
But that's everybody in the room. So if you look at the JFK assassination, right? So he goes into that plaza. They're all assassins in that plaza.
Yeah.
Like everybody's in on it.
Well, there was a lot of people in on
Yeah,
it.
and they all go missing and end up dead.
You know, my friend Evan, he had a really good point about that. My friend Evan Hafer from Black Rifle Coffee. He said during the Bay of Pigs, when they told Kennedy
that
about
coffee?
it late.
Can I have
yeah,
some?
Get in there, dog. Sorry. You know, when they told
you.
Kennedy about it, and he didn't allow the airstrikes. He didn't allow air support.
Yep.
That fucked everybody that was
Yep.
on the beach. He's
Project
like, do you know how many
Northwood.
hardened? No, that was different. Operation Northwoods was the where they were going to arm Cuban friendlies and attack Guantanamo
Well, that was all
Bay.
part of how to pull Cuba into war.
Right. So, but the Bay of Pigs thing in specific, those guys had a plan based on air support, and then they didn't get that air support, and a bunch of people died that shouldn't have died. It's like those are the types of people you could have gotten to kill Kennedy.
Yep.
What do you got for us, Jamie? You played something?
More video of that.
They look better in the other videos?
No. I was looking to see if there was. They did land two things at the same time. But whatever that was, it's clearly not supposed to be a video of the live landing. There's no way.
Looked like it to me.
No,
Looked like they were
Look at
and the guy standing up and he's
Yeah,
like,
no, but
I
this
just
is-
did that.
Bro,
It's
that
not.
looks so
it's not
fake.
even supposed to, I don't think that's what it's supposed to be. It's like a description to show them, like,
Oh.
instead of just looking at numbers.
Oh, so they don't have actual video of it,
yeah,
which
you'd have
makes
to have
more
a
sense.
live camera with it. That's
Right.
like a third thing now.
Which
you gotta
is-
bring up there.
Yeah. Well, the moon landing from the 60s when it did it, you only saw it from inside the lunar module, that beautiful aluminum foil craft.
Yeah. With a golf cart that's like almost twice the size.
How'd they get that golf cart,
Yeah.
that thing? And how'd you get enough power to get off the Earth, or get off the moon, rather?
Yeah, and there was
How'd you get that camera to pan perfectly and catch it? And how'd you get the signal of the video footage from that camera and send it up into space in 1969? And how'd you talk to Nixon on the phone from space?
It's on a landline.
How are you calling Nixon from fucking space? Stop.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
stop.
here's the thing: oligarchies help oligarchies, so they're all in on it.
Well, I bet they're all in on a lot of shit, which is good because that's what keeps us from going to World War III for real, for real.
So, so recently we're being told there's this giant AI race with China. Okay,
You don't believe it?
and they want to pass a law. No, I don't believe it. And I'll tell you why.
I like you pointed a finger.
Yeah,
You're
I'm very
definitive.
serious. I
Very
pointed
serious.
at the sign, but the point is, so they tell us there's this giant race with AI, and if we allow China to just get a fraction ahead of us, it's over. So to the point where they pass a law where you cannot, no state can pass any laws that get in the way of technology with AI, and everyone's really upset about because 10 years of AI is an insane amount of time. So who knows what will happen with it. So we're being sold that we're in this AI race with China. Well, just about a month ago, we sent China a bunch of AI superconductors. And I go, hold on. We're like in a race with these guys and we're sending them superconductors?
Who is we? And
The
what
United
did-
States government.
So what did they send?
They sent a bunch of, will you look this up, superconductors or something like that, to the people we're supposedly in a race. And it reminds me of when I was a kid.
I'm gonna need to know specifics. of that
Okay,
story.
that's why Jamie's here. I'm just
reminds you of when you were a child.
when I was a kid and we were in the Cold War with Russia and we were in a nuclear arms race. I remember being a kid and seeing on the news that we were sending aid to Russia. And I always go, why are we sending aid to these people if we're in a Cold War with them? And then I realized because Russia was never going to be able to keep up with us. That was just used as a smokescreen to get us to be, hey man, spend all the money you need to build all these weapons because we have to be in the lead. This
How
is
about when we were paying off the Taliban?
20 mil what a week, dude?
First of all, how many people are even in the Taliban, and how many more are they recruiting because they're making $20 million a week?
I remember when Joe Biden pulled out of Afghanistan, I was like, oh, dude, great. He ended, and I wasn't a Biden fan, but when somebody does something you like, you got to kind of give them their props. And then he's like, yeah, and we're leaving all the weapons there.
But
Have you ever seen the video of the plane leaving? You want to
Yes.
look at
Yeah.
something that's
it's
just a
horrific.
complete joke.
well, people were falling off of it. They were trying to hang on to the wheels.
No, watch when it's coming out on the runway. It looks really weird to me.
You
looks-
think the plane's fake?
It's got painted windows.
Okay.
And people are running along. It's the weirdest video I've ever seen. It makes no sense. There's a 911 on it or a 119 on it. It's a very weird.
Right, but it did happen. Like people did like take off in the last planes, and people did.
I'm
try
not
to
saying
hang
that
on,
didn't happen, but I'm
splattered on
saying
the
that
runway.
video is super weird.
Sometimes video just looks like shit.
Have you ever seen the Anne Heche crash? Have you ever seen that video?
No,
Yeah,
well,
this
it's
is
one
it.
thing at a time.
Look at that.
One thing at a time. Okay, well, this is a cargo plane, right? So it's an enormous plane,
Looks.
and it doesn't have any windows. So there's that.
Well, the windows at the top, but the black ones.
Well, that's for the pilots, bro. But the rest of the rest of the plane is all solid.
looks
So it's a cargo.
weird
No,
to
It looks
me.
like a giant cargo ship, and these people are trying to climb in. Like, look at this, man. They're trying to get inside that cargo ship. That is nuts, man. And the thing is moving along on the ground. You can see through these windows. Yeah, you can see. That's a regular cargo ship, brother. That's a giant military cargo ship.
That looks weird.
But this weird how these guys are like laughing and cheering.
Yes. It just looks weird to me.
But like the whole thing was crazy. First of all, they felt like they
There's that
defeated
article.
America and sent them home. So there was that. And then there was the fact that we left behind all kinds of crazy shit. Black Hawk helicopters, tanks. And then they do parades where they parade down the street with all of our shit.
Yeah. I mean, you get into Afghanistan. It's the same reason we went into Vietnam, which was the pop. Yep. Nobody knows that about Vietnam. Everyone thinks it's about stopping communism. If you watch The Fog of War,
Right.
he says like they were never gonna. Vietnam hated China. They were never gonna work together. But you sell it as we gotta stop communism. Now you go in and you get all the poppy fields, the Golden Triangle.
Well, the most transparent of that was when Fox News had Geraldo Rivera talking to one of the generals on the ground.
Yeah.
And was like, sir, one of the military leaders, I don't know if it's a general, why do you have military people guarding the heroin fields? It's like, well, we need to get the trust of the farmers, keep them on our side against terrorists. They're like literally like fucking U.S. armed soldiers guarding drugs. And then the production goes through the roof.
Yep.
And it becomes like 94% of the world's heroin is produced in.
Or where we go in Iraq, and the first things we go to are the museums,
Oh, well.
and we're grabbing artifacts.
They had some Anunnaki shit in there that we needed to
Who knows what's in the
Some
Vatican,
Stargate
dude?
type shit.
100%. They think that's the weapon of mass destruction they were talking about. Was the Stargate in Iraq?
That was a weapon of mass. I thought it was a gate. I thought it was a gateway. Go to another
Well,
dimension.
that's what they're talking about.
Well,
But
that
they
would-
want control.
That would be the weapon of mass destruction. You go into the future, get some awesome weapons, come back, fuck everybody up. Like everybody watching a movie about like the Revolutionary War, they're all running around in muskets. You just imagine, bro, imagine just storming in there with a tank, just fucking everybody. They don't even know what a tank is.
Yeah.
Just
They're just doing the
helicopters,
marching forward.
shooting them out of helicopters like pigs. Dut, 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 dut. You know, that's what you think of when you think of like modern weaponry. Now imagine applying that times 1,000 years, getting that modern weaponry, bringing it back to this timeline. Do you think that you can travel back and forth through timelines, or do you think once you travel once, you're stuck there?
It's
Like, what if you travel back to a time where there's no time machine? You might be fucked.
Yeah. Or it's like, you see movies about this all the time where you're like, you got to go exactly to the place. You got to get it
Yeah.
right, or you go to a dimension you don't even know what it is.
What was that article you just pulled up, Jamie? Iraqi Stargate Conspiracy, a modern perspective on an ancient mystery. Look at that building. Bro, what were they doing? 4,100-year-old massive tiered shrine lined with giant staircases. How weird, man.
Dude, our timeline is way more interesting than anyone even understands.
It really is. It really is when you get into ancient history.
Yep.
It's so strange, especially when you read their stories and, like all the Anunnaki, Nephilim stuff, and then you see the buildings they were creating. Like, what
Or
is
the
going
doors
on
that
back
are so huge, or the steps that are too big for people to go up.
Put it back up, Jane. It says, mysterious military bases near ancient sites. U.S. established military zones near ancient Mesopotamian ruins,
Yeah.
such as how do you say that? Nineveh and Babylon. Some speculate this was to prevent independent researchers from accessing the sites.
Control the information.
The alleged time warp incident. Some claim that strange time anomalies and electromagnetic disturbances were reported by soldiers in Iraq, further supporting the idea of an active portal or advanced technology buried underground. Is there any scientific basis for a Stargate in Iraq? How could there be? Lack of physical evidence, no concrete proof. Well, you don't have access. Mythological misinterpretations. Sumerian texts describe the Anunnaki as deities, but scholars believe these are mythological representations rather than historical accounts of extraterrestrial beings. Okay, but that's just someone's opinion. And scholars are notoriously poopy pants when it comes. Stop scrolling, please. Notoriously poopy pants when it comes.
New data comes out.
Yeah, they don't like to change their opinions on shit. No confirmed technology retrieval, despite years of military presence in Iraq. No official reports have suggested that any of the advanced technology was discovered. But if it was, where would it go? Defense contractors, right? The same thing is like the UFOs. Like if they really did have a crashed UFO, and I'm in the middle of a great book, Richard Dolan has a let me find the name of this so I don't fuck it up. It is UFOs for the 21st century mind. Why can't I fucking talk today? But there's a lot of stuff in there that I'd never considered before. And one of them, when they were talking about the crashed UFOs, they did a bunch of like high altitude explosions of nuclear bombs in the 1950s. They like just shot them up 150 miles into the sky and then blew them up. They did it a bunch of times. Like, you could have easily fucked up a UFO if they didn't know you were doing that. If they had no reason to believe and they're just hovering there watching Earth, and then all of a sudden, boom.
It's interesting to me because you remember when we had the balloon? What is this?
What is this, Jim?
These are CIA reports. I don't know how accurate they are, but it's a report nonetheless. Creation date 2016. Document release date says 98. Read the first paragraph, I think, if you can.
Oh, it's hard to read. It's weird. Where should I read it from?
The third line, weather be a problem. Hold on, it said something about military
Whether
strike.
rainstorms will be a problem in the southern area in 3 to 5 days. Some heavy equipment movement is anticipated in near term in Kuwait within 1 to 3 days. Iraq will launch missiles into Saudi Arabia areas.
Yeah, keep going.
Frontline troops will not advance. Future potential strikes may occur in areas B. Where?
Iraq Army will have 2 special weapons, some type of, quote, interference device that causes electronic and mechanical to, quote, freeze up. Some type of energetic beam type of device that may be located in the sand area. See Figure 1.
Whoa.
Preemptive action is not anticipated until February 91. Surprise attack may occur at any time from Kuwait. Whatever energetic beam under the sand, that's where I was.
Huh.
See, like, activity in the vicinity of Mecca. It's just like, this is a strange... These documents pop up in the UFO world all the time. That's why I was like...
Is this a legit document?
Again.
Yeah, who knows, right?
Yeah. Freedom. This is a FOIA document. It says it comes from the Stargate collection.
Huh.
So... That's such an interesting...
Also, if I had a print in paper some shit that's like super top secret that no one's supposed to know that we have, I would say Iraq has it, so we could use it on them.
Yeah, blame him.
And say, oh yeah, Iraq had some beam weapon.
Yeah.
That was it, and it was destroyed. We destroyed it.
Especially if you're putting in a paper where you know people could read it later on because of the FOIA request.
Well, they probably didn't anticipate that, right? But then on top of that, it's like, I mean... They overestimated the Iraq army's capabilities as it is, right? Like, that was one of the things about it. Is like they were always saying, like Hicks had a joke about it. It's the 4th largest army in the world. He's like, yeah, well, after the first 2, there's a real big drop off.
Yeah, for
He goes, Salvation Army's number 3.
yeah. I loved him, man.
But that was a great joke about that because like that was a cakewalk. That first Iraq war, it was just they went in, fucked everything up. The war was over really quick. So. I mean, imagine how disgusting a human being you'd have to be to invade another country, find secrets that changes the way human beings would view our history.
Yeah.
And the history of technology that has existed here, like completely remaps the entire landscape.
Reimagines
and you're
everything.
Going to hide it.
Yeah, well, that's the whole Vatican library.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, what's in there?
Right, what's in there?
I want to know what's in there, dude.
Have you seen that Tibetan one?
No.
Oh, it's crazy. There's this ancient Tibetan library, and there's this video of this guy walking past these texts. These are fucking thousands of years old, these texts. And they're all in these bound books on these shelves that nobody's touching. See if you can find the
Why
video
hasn't
of that
anyone
guy
read
walking
them?
by that.
What's in there?
Well, what about the Library of Alexandria, which all the secrets of Egypt were in there? All the probably depictions of how they built the pyramids, who did it, when it happened,
Erasing our
or whether or
history.
not they found them already built. That's a real possibility. Claim of 10,000-year-old Tibet library find not worth paper it's written on. But there is some sort of a Tibet library. I'm not saying it's 10,000 years old, but I think it's 1,000 years old. It was just there was a library of these ancient books like this.
Look at
Is
that.
that real? Is that bullshit?
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
That's what it says.
Oh, okay. That's not exactly the one that I saw, but it was just like that. But it wasn't.
AI probably took that photo and animated it. Now that's been going around a lot over the last
Oh
2
no,
weeks.
no, yeah. But this is like at least a year ago, what I had seen. But it might have been bullshit then. It might have been a different kind of bullshit, not AI. AI bullshit's going to make everything impossible.
Have you ever heard that most wars are about erasing history? Like
Most of them?
a lot of wars are about erasing our history, going in there, destroying areas that have like a connection to the past. And that's a big part of World War II, was just destroy all this old history so nobody learns about it and knock it all down and rebuild it.
Here is a video of 40,000 volumes.
Okay.
Scriptures, but I don't know what they are.
I think this
That
is
is
exactly the
crazy.
video that I saw.
That's so crazy.
Okay, so this is a Tibetan Buddhist library. And does it say how old those things are? They're pretty amazing, though. But it's just kind of freaky to think that you're even reading a piece of paper that was handwritten by someone 1,000 years ago, and you open it up. What's that,
How
Jamie?
long that thing goes.
Oh, it's bananas.
What is it, 10,000 books, they
Imagine
say?
if they decipher it and it's all porn. it's all
And
just
then
like
she took on 5 guys.
it's all just like 50 Shades of Grey, written over and over and over again.
Yeah. It's crazy out there, man. What's going on in the world right now is nuts, and it's just like, I think I think what's going on in Gaza is crazy. I think it prophesized that. So I wanted to tell you about this. So I have about 8 guys from high school that I'm on a text thread all the time. We talk all the time. It's kind of where I got my ability to kill hecklers, because we just shit talked each other forever. Like, we stopped fighting at one age and we just started annihilating each other. So then it's just like natural to me. Like, what's trauma as a kid sometimes becomes your strength as an adult. So I got really good at that. Every time I fly home, they just light me up. It feels so good, right? So I go to college. My friend Tony, he goes to Alfred. He comes back. He gets religion, right? And he is. And every summer I go home from college. We'd sit down. We'd talk spirituality, and he would always tell me things he learned. Well, one time, like in the late '90s, they bring me out to. Their church is having a band. Guys in the church are in the band, and hand to God, dude. They're singing songs about in the late 90s about 2 towers coming down. Hand to God. I remember hearing that going, that's kind of crazy. And then 9/11 happens. I go, whoa, that's some prophecy. So Tony
When
always
did they
tells
build the World Trade Center towers.
it took a long time.
But when did they build them? Like when were they officially opened? 60s.
Sorry. Completed in 70. South Tower completed
And
71.
dude, there's a great video I have on Instagram that breaks down the whole 9/11. It's this animation. It's so fucking good, dude.
So do you think that those planes were remote controlled?
I would take it. I would take they were missiles that look like planes over passenger planes. Yes, because
Wait. So you think that they disguised a missile to make it look like a
Yes,
plane?
yes.
But you saw the way that it was flying.
Yeah,
It flew like it banked
but you
and
can't
turned
fly
into,
like that.
What do you
if you
mean?
talk to pilots, it's impossible to go at that speed in a passenger plane that low, that fast. It's just, and you talk to people who, you talk to pilots, they say they could never have done that. There is technology for them to take over the plane because it's supposed to stop a hijack. They can take over the plane and cockpit from the flight. That's definitely possible, but I think they were military missile planes, if that's what hit the planes, if that's what hit.
So what happens to the actual planes themselves under your theory?
I mean, everything could be just a story laid down. I think the story of the 19 hijackers is just another layer of deceit. You know, that they set a foundation for this story they want us to buy.
Yeah, but Sam, the people did die and the planes did crash.
I'm not
and
saying
there is
they did. I
video
mean,
of it. But
you
it doesn't make any sense because it looks like a plane. It flies like a plane. It leaves in the
Okay.
exact airport. They track it. They know where it's going.
Right.
It flies into
study
the tower.
Operation Northwood, they literally tell you what
No,
they're going to do.
I know that.
Which is what?
I
They fly the plane
I know
up?
that Operation Northwoods, they had a drone plane and they were going to blow it up and blame the Cubans. I know that. So what that tells us is they had drone planes in 1963, which is kind of crazy, right? That is kind of
Yeah.
crazy. And that was signed by the Joint Chiefs of Staff and vetoed by Kennedy.
Yes.
But why would you think it's a missile and not just a drone, plane?
It's possible it's a drone plane, but I think it could be
it's
possible.
flying like a plane. Like what makes more sense to me is that they took over a plane and remote control whoever they is, whether it's the terrorists or whatever demonic entities,
Okay.
took over the remote control plane and flew that motherfucker into those towers.
I don't necessarily know. I mean, yeah, that's definitely possible.
That makes more sense. The thing that didn't make sense to me was like the box cutter thing is weird. Because just a mass of people, you're going to take a chance. There's not some big guys on the plane that are going to overwhelm you. You're gonna get access to everything with box cutters.
Yep.
Maybe you would. Maybe if with the right plane, you know. But with the wrong plane, I could see you getting fucked up by a group of hard men.
Yeah.
You know, if you got
You
a
see
bunch,
that on the planes now today.
Yeah.
There's people acting crazy, all the guys jumping up and
you could
stop.
just catch the wrong fucking plane. Like the fact that you would just take a chance like that your plan involved being able to control people with box cutters. There's only a few of you, right? How many
Yeah.
guys were on each plane?
Yeah. I mean, there's 4 planes? There's 19 hijackers. I mean, break it up into 4 or 5 guys every plane.
It's hard.
And then,
That
like,
makes it
there's
more
just
complicated.
numerology,
Fighting
Joe.
off 5 guys with razors is harder.
You study the numerology in 9/11. It's all Aleister Crowley occult rituals, the plane numbers, how many floors, how many feet the Pentagon is.
See, you go deeper in the rabbit holes than I like to go. I like to go like 3/4 of the way down and I go, yeah, this sucks. And then I get out of there.
Yeah, I know,
You
but
go all the way to the bottom, which I don't know is always accurate.
it's the world's ran by sorcerers, and once you start to realize that, everything's a rich man's trick.
Listen, just because the guy who's the head of the World Economic Forum looks like a wizard, just because he dresses like a wizard in a fucking Hobbit movie, doesn't mean he's into the dark
I mean,
arts.
study Michael
Just because he
Chernoff.
dresses
Yeah,
exactly like how I would
100%.
dress
Except for when he's at
if
the
I
beach.
was in the dark arts.
Have you ever seen him at the
Klaus
beach?
Schwab at the beach?
Yeah.
No, I need to see
You've
that.
never seen. You're
Is
not
it
going to
good?
believe
Has
it.
he got a
I know you're
six-pack?
not. No, he's not. He's in a. He's in a bride lingerie and the hat.
No.
Yes.
Let me see.
Can
Is
you
that
look it up?
real?
Dude, it looks exactly like. You're not going to believe it, but I totally
Wait
think
a minute.
that's him.
This is one of them images that you found online? Because
No.
I think I've seen this one. And I said, oh, that's
He's in
AI.
a dick cage. I think he's walking in a dick cage.
Oh, listen.
Come on, look at
I
it.
don't
Dude,
think that's
tell me that's
real.
not him. Tell me that's not him.
Not what I'm
Dude,
saying.
when you're that high,
I'm
you're
saying
into
it's
weird shit.
It's a fake photo, I thought.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
It's not real.
How do you know? You just looked at it.
Fact
Reuters.
check.
Oh, fact.
Reuters says.
Okay, then if Reuters says, because they've been
Okay,
right about
let me see
everything.
the photo. Let
Go
me
down.
see that photo. Let me
That's
see
it, right there.
That ain't him, dog.
No, but that's pixelated, dude.
Oh, shut your
You find a
mouth.
good picture of him, it looks exactly like
Bro,
him.
he didn't.
That guy is into the weird. You're the
I'm
head of
sure,
the WEF.
but-
You're into the weirdest shit.
Yeah, but he's not going to go out in public.
Come on,
like
dude.
this. No.
Yeah, he
That
is.
doesn't even look like him. That looks like a younger
okay,
guy.
Look at that. You're telling me that guy.
Go
That
scroll
doesn't
back
look
up.
like the
Let me see
exact same guy.
No, make it a little bigger. No, it does
Come
not.
on,
no,
man.
no, it does not look like him. The guy's a different chin draw structure. Go to the other guy. That's different. This guy has a lot more
like the
jowls.
same
No,
guy.
no. He has a lot more jowls. He looks a lot older. This guy looks like a 60-year-old freak, and he looks like an 80-year-old.
But that adrenochrome keeps you young.
No, he's not young in any of these photos. But in that photo, that's a different guy. That's a different human. Someone's just being funny. Like, that ain't him either.
Imagine your doppelganger is that weird and
Right.
that gay, and there's just pictures of him. doing weird shit on you. Yeah.
One of my favorite characters in the Biden Chronicles was that one bald-headed guy with lipstick that was stealing women's clothes.
Oh, that guy was the best.
Like, who would have thought someone who dresses like that would be fucking weird?
Not only steals the clothes, wears the clothes to like giant events.
Yes.
Where people, that one lady's like, that's my dress.
Well, she's a designer. It was a one-off. It was a one-off dress. Like, it had to be her dress. This guy would just
Dude, that was some
steal
crazy
luggage.
times.
What? But imagine, like, seeing that guy and going, I think he's got his shit together. He should be running the government.
Be like, you know what this security system needs? Trans. That's what we
What was
fucking
his
need.
job? What was that guy's job?
I thought it had something to do with the FAA or something like that. That's some crazy
And then
shit.
Rachel Levine.
Oh,
She was another one. Like, what is this
Yeah.
craziness?
well, that's what I always say. Like, it's like everyone about Trump right now and all the stuff going on with him. I go, the difference between Trump's cabinet and Kamala Harris's cabinet is Trump's all closeted neocons, and Kamala's would be BLM, fat feminists, and trans. That would be the difference between who's standing behind them.
Yeah.
It's all the same shit. It's two wings of the same bird. Now, I like Trump more than I like Kamala. These people are just absolutely ridiculous, thinking it would be anything different.
It's a completely corrupted system at this point.
100%.
Completely corrupted. And no one in like 6 months, whatever Trump's been in by now, or 4 years, or even 8 years, is going to totally untangle it.
No,
You ain't gonna-
it's so deep, and it's at every single level.
Deep, dog.
Every single level, dude.
Deep.
And that's what the internet did. Took our eyes off
Give me one
the
of them, dog.
here.
Thank you.
Took our eyes off the
Look at
local
that
stuff.
guy. I bet it'd be a great podcast.
Imagine
guest.
going, that guy should be in the U.S. government,
That's
dude.
what I've been saying. That's what I've been saying. Take a plea deal. What's that?
Department of Energy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's who I want to run the power.
Check out them windmills, son.
Look at that, dude. Wearing
Hilarious.
lipstick. It's
Why
just,
not? Fuck
and
it.
then sending him to represent us at all these like international conferences.
I wouldn't care if he was good at his job and didn't steal women's clothes. I wouldn't care. Like, if you want to show up for work
How
and you
about
wear,
just
wear
good
a
at your
dress-
job?
Yeah, but, I mean, yeah, I don't want either one of those things. But, I mean, if you just show up and you work real hard but you want to wear a dress, like, okay, Mike likes wearing dresses. I don't care. Like, why would I care? I'm wearing shorts.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same. It's not much different. There's a little piece of cloth that tucks under your taint.
Yeah.
It's so much different
Yeah.
than a skirt.
I would wear pajamas if people would let me. I'd go. I'd love
You're
to do
good at your
stand up.
job and you had a regular job and you wore pajamas. Like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, he's a weird one. Sam wears pajamas to do stand up.
Isn't it weird that like they expect certain jobs, like they expect if you wear a suit, you're gonna behave differently. You know, more professional. I've got a suit on. I can't be bothered with normal talk, right? Like if you just showed up with shorts and a t-shirt, like Mike's not even serious. Look at him. He's dressed like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Like you dress a certain way, and they think of you as a different kind of person.
100%. So I was watching this video the other day, and it was about how actors way back in the day looked so much older.
Oh yeah.
Like the guy from All in the Family was 46.
I know.
And then actors today are 56, look like they're kids.
Yeah.
And they were talking about it's because everyone smoked all the time, and they all wore like suits and proper clothes that made
And
them
no
look
one
like
worked
more.
out.
Yeah.
No one worked out. Yeah, no one. So when you hit 46, it was like, ugh.
Yeah, we're as a nation, we're getting fatter and fatter, but there's also a segment that is getting more jacked and jacked. The jiu-jitsu guys, the CrossFit guys, the Thai boxing dudes, they're all getting more and more fucking shredded than ever. Yes, there are a lot of fat people, but there's also, in my opinion, way more in shape people too, because they're just more people.
I would agree there's more in shape people now than ever before, but I think the average person is in worse shape. The average, there's like outliers, people that work out all the time, and there's more of those than ever before. But we're getting fucking poisoned. We're getting our food is terrible. This
We're
is one of
working
the
more than ever.
The
and then we're
RFK
eating
Jr. thing was one of the most important things of this administration, I thought. Like, get in there and find out. How do these companies have this grip on what they're putting in the American diet? How do these companies have this grip on what medications they're making sure that you take every year? And how many, and they're not responsible at all for the adverse effects. Like, this is crazy. And, like, him getting in there and just trying to at least untangle some of that fucking evil octopus mess just all the different tentacles of control.
Yes.
And the fact that they're telling you, oh, we know these dyes cause cancer and you can't use them anywhere else in the world, but we have to use them here or it'll hurt our company.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it's the same company that makes stuff that they send to Canada that doesn't have the dyes. It's nuts.
It's crazy. Or how, I saw Ian Carroll talking about this, how they have a drug that causes hair loss, and then the same company sells you stuff that will help your hair grow back.
Yeah, well, there's companies right now that are working on drugs that help people that have heart inflammation, from myocarditis and issues with heart repair.
There's a particular NBA legend named Kareem Abdul-Jabbar who, during the whole COVID stuff, was like he was going after LeBron James really hard about not getting the shot. And now when I listen, because I'm old, I still listen to sports talk radio, he's doing commercials for heart problems. Like, that's the craziest storyline I've ever seen in my life. The guy who was guilting everybody. And this was a guy who was a civil rights leader.
He's doing commercials for heart problems. In what way? Like, what are the commercials?
Heart fibriosis. Can you look up what Kareem Abdul-Jabbar heart commercials? He's talking about how he's AFib.
He is?
Yes. But this was a guy who was full on in the civil rights movement, who would have a great understanding of the black community's relationship with pharmaceutical companies and what, that famous thing where they let everybody have syphilis forever. And then they sent like black nurses to convince them. Yeah, AFib. So he was a guy who was pushing everybody. Oh, dude, that's so crazy. It's with Pfizer too. And he was a guy who was pushing everybody to get the jab. He was like really going after LeBron James, who didn't want to do it. And then now he's doing these commercials, which is so crazy to me.
But did he have that before he got jabbed?
I never heard of that. It's possible, but I never heard of it. But it's crazy that he's on both sides of that.
Yeah. It is kind of crazy, but a lot of older people got real scared. That's one of the things that happened. A lot of old people, when COVID came around, got real scared, and they wanted to believe that the pharmaceutical drug companies had an answer. And they didn't want to hear any nonsense from the anti-vaxxers.
Well, you saw they rolled it out, right? It started with China, and we saw these videos of people falling down, even though that never happened when everybody got COVID here until what? They got the jab, right? And then we started seeing people, So... you watch how they slow roll these psyops out.
The
man.
crazy thing is watching the compilation of all the newscasters faint on TV.
Doing that. How about when they see something and they freak out and then they fall down? That's the weirdest thing.
It's all weird, dude. It's all weird. It's weird that we all watched it in real time. The Heather McDonald video. I mean, it's almost like the universe had a script, right? The Heather McDonald video in particular.
She's like, I got all the jab.
Yeah, boom. Black. I mean, it was nuts. It was like the perfect punchline at the right time. If you want to have evidence of a simulation, like that seems fake.
That's so crazy. It was caught on camera.
Crazy.
And then
In
she
perfect
falls back,
timing.
and something's going on because she doesn't try to brace herself at all.
It was so bad.
I feel for her. I like her.
Well, that was a bad fall, man. Scary fall. But it's just crazy how it lined up that way. And crazy how brought to you by Pfizer. You see these people, you see those commercials, those compilations rather, of all the different newscasters falling over. It's like, wow. And no one got suspicious other than these weirdos online. No newscasters got suspicious. No media people got suspicious. New York Times didn't get suspicious. How many soccer players are dropping dead? What's going on here?
Healthy athletes having heart attacks.
Yeah, how many people are just having heart attacks when they're 18 years old, which never happened before? What the fuck is going on? And no one wants to admit that they made a terrible mistake and that they got duped. So they continue to do the work of the people that duped them. They're like, they got bit by the vampire and they're trying to bite other people. It's weird.
It's yeah. Have you ever heard okay, this is a really weird conspiracy.
No, from you? No fucking way, Sam. I don't believe you.
The Chinese population, have you ever looked into that?
Oh, that the population is actually a lot lower than they said it is? Yes.
And that there's all this data that kind of lines up, like the amount of funeral homes have quadrupled. China's lied about the amount. They made all these. They listed all these fake kids going to school that aren't really going to school. And the weird one is the amount of salt that they've imported from from Japan has gone down to half. So all these people go to China, all these guys, tourist vloggers, and they're like, there's nobody around. There's nobody here. Where is everybody? This is because if you go to India, right, we saw them, how many people they pack in there to see that Atari graphic land on the moon. Look how many people are in there. But you see this over and over again when people go to China, they're like, there's nobody around here.
Well, I think there's parts of it that are very unpopulated. But you know what has always been the weirdest conspiracy for me with China is the Great Wall.
Oh, where it faces?
Do you know? Yeah. The turrets where they shoot arrows from, that's facing inward. Inward, not outward. Not like to guard people from coming over the wall that way. It's the other way.
Yeah.
Which is like, okay, who designed this? What were you doing? What were you trying to accomplish? Why would you have it turned towards the country?
China, right. If you're trying to protect China.
Yeah, that doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah. It's kind of like when you look at like a camp, right? And they have these or a prison. The people they want to keep in, they put all the wire and stuff this way so you can't crawl out.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with that.
Did you see how long it is too?
It is pretty
Isn't
long.
it? What is the full length? I think it's 14,000 miles. Imagine 14,000 miles of stone wall built by hand over hundreds of years, and you have the openings for arrows pointed towards the people?
Yeah. Have you ever seen old pictures of how like it being built?
No.
And the people building it are like demons and shit like that. It's like
What?
very weird, dude.
What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Old drawings, you mean?
Yeah, of drawings of the Great Wall of China being built, and it's almost being built like by demons.
You know,
I've seen something about the turrets or whatever. They're on either all sides or multiple sides, not just facing in.
but sometimes they're just facing in.
I don't know.
Because this guy did a whole video on this whole stretch of the Great Wall where it faces in. What does it? Click on that one, see what it
Yeah,
says.
this is like it's talking about YouTubers sensationalizing stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, the thing is, it's also, again, 14,000 miles, right?
And
So some of it probably
territories
does.
change.
Right.
Sometimes, you see that because, like, I'm Armenian. I'm from the village of Van. I'm Russian Armenian. And at that time, it was in Turkey.
Bro, look at this. 13,170 miles. That's so crazy. You
How
can see it
long
from
would it
space.
take for you to build that? Forever.
Imagine if you live forever and, like, Sam, you can live forever, but you have to rebuild the Great Wall of China.
Oh.
But if you do, don't worry, you'll live forever. It's going to take you a long time, but once you're done, you'll be free.
Does it say
And
how
you'll
long
live
it
forever.
took? Yeah.
Would you do it?
No, I don't want to live forever.
You don't?
No, I don't think we're meant to live forever. I think we're meant to come here, finish a task, wrap it up.
Yeah, I think so too.
And this whole thing about extending life forever sounds miserable to me.
It is weird that all these techno people are about to grasp the ability to do something that has never been done before and is very strange. Like, if you can change a human body and you can enter some sort of a chip into that person's brain that gives them entire access to the internet instantaneously, telepathic language, who knows what kind of ability to control electronic devices and all kinds of different things. And someone gets to decide whether or not that happens to the human race.
Yes.
Because once it happens, you're not putting that cork back on the bottle.
Nope.
It's
Nope.
out. It's going to give an advantage to people. So everyone's going to want to do it. You don't want to be a regular meat ape when all these fucking geniuses are around here reading your PIN number from your mind.
They're doing that.
Yeah.
They're doing that with babies now. They can test IQs already. They're doing genetic tests because these really rich people want super smart kids. So they're making sure that the IQ of the baby is at a super high level.
There was also that thing in China they did where they altered the baby's genes to make them smarter. Yeah. We're going to have genetically modified human beings for sure in the next
If they're
100
not
years.
already here.
But I mean, they're going to be like Thor. Everyone's going to look like Thor. Every woman's going to look like Fill in the blank. Whatever you're into.
There's too much tits and ass on the internet.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be such a good time. There's going to be no sixes. It's just going to be, initially it'll be adopted by the rich, but then it'll just be like cell phones. In the beginning, fucking Mike Douglas had that big ass fucking stupid thing on the beach in Greed.
Good. Yeah.
Now that's a joke, right? Now everybody has a phone. You go to the jungle, people have phones.
Dude, there's fat homeless people with iPhones.
Everyone has phones.
iPhones.
Yeah.
Like,
And they
that's
go
why
into
you're never
Starbucks.
going to have a revolution when you have fat homeless people with iPhones. Like
They're fat, and they have no money, and they're still fat.
Yeah, and they're living the best life. That's how comfortable it is. We're just comfortable enough not to get upset.
Sam Tripoli, I got to wrap this up. I love you to death. I don't agree with everything you said, though. I want
Come
to tell
on,
everybody.
dude. I'm always right. Last thing I want to tell you is that Gaza, Europe will go in and regulate it, and that is the prediction I want to give you. That is
Europe
prophesied.
is going to regulate Gaza.
Yes.
That's prophesized.
Yes, and then it's basically going to be into. It's been prophesized there will be a war between the pagans and the lost tribes. The lost tribes, and you go through this.
Where
whole
can someone go to research this further?
Let me just tell you. I'll give you the name of it.
I got to pee. We got to wrap this
Okay.
up. Just tell me what it is.
I just got to get
I've
the
been
name
holding
of
in
it.
my pee for 5 minutes.
Okay,
Hardcore.
I appreciate you, dude. I'll give you the name right now. Here we go. You can go to the Living Church of God. It's YouTube at Tomorrow's World. It's all been prophesized. England, the United States, and Israel versus the pagans. The pagans will be led like before the Assyrians, who are now Germany.
If it turns out to be true, I'll bring you back.
Put
You're a fucking
that would be
genius.
my third prediction I've gotten right. I love you so
I love
much.
You too, brother.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
buddy.
Always
I
great
love
to see you, my brother.
Always
Let's do it
a
again.
pleasure.
All right, bye, everybody.